Hello, how are you? Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Magistrate Court, First Appearance Court. My name is Judge Kim Teresa Malika. Today you're going to be informed of the charges and we're going to determine if there's probable cause. Today is not your trial day. Please do not talk about the facts of your case. Everything's being recorded. You have a right to remain silent. You also have a right to an attorney. We have Mr., who is it at the main jail? Mr. Romero? Who's at the main jail representing the Public Defender's Office? There he is. Hello. We have Mr. Romero at the main jail, and we have Mr. Reedy from the Public Defender's Office to my right in the courtroom. State, both of you, can you announce your appearance for the record?
Michael Julian for the State Attorney's Office.
Good
Tucker
morning.
O'Neill on behalf of the State Attorney's Office.
Good morning, both of you.
Good morning, Judge.
All right. If you have a private attorney, please let me know. Do we have anybody that speaks Spanish at the main jail? Mr. Romero, anybody that speaks Spanish at the main jail?
I haven't gotten to the person yet. I can ask right now and go out of order. Hold
Yeah,
on one
why don't
moment,
we do that?
All right, let me go out of order. Hold on.
You can go out of order. Anybody at North Broward need a Spanish interpreter?
No one at Maine, Judge.
Thank you. Anybody at North Broward need an interpreter? Anybody at Conti?
We're good, Your Honor.
North Broward, no? I see someone peeking their head in. North Broward, deputy.
Good morning, Judge. We don't need an interpreter.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Well, Ryan, hi.
Well, Your Honor, I have a Mercado, but I don't know if he speaks both languages. I won't find out for you now.
Okay, so take your
He's on his
time.
way here.
Take your
Okay.
time. Just
No problem.
cut on, just let us know, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, so no Spanish interpreter today. All right, Anne Marie Sheehy. OMO. And then Irvin's an MO. Kitchen's an MO. What about CO Bond Christopher, please?
It might be Siobhan.
It has SIO. Okay, CO Bond or Chauvin Christopher? Where are they?
No.
Main jail.
Let me see what first thing. What's that?
She's here present, Judge, at Maine.
Thank you. Ma'am, how do you say your first name?
Siobhan,
Is it SH or SI?
it's SIOBHAN, it's a Gaelic spelling.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry about that, ma'am. Okay, Miss Christopher, you have petty theft, second degree, first offense, $25 bond. Court's gonna order no return to the Publix located at 3400 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale. Bond set at $25. Court finds probable cause. What say you, Mr. Romero?
Judge, I'm going to be asking for the court to consider releasing Miss Christopher ROR. I'll see if the state has an objection before I proceed.
State?
State would prefer to keep the $25 bond, Your Honor.
All right, court's gonna ROR. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Next one is Keena Ingalls.
Yes, initially, right?
Just read initially.
Miss Ingalls is here present, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ingalls, you have a capious misdemeanor, $500 bond. You're going before your division judge, Judge Melinda Brown, tomorrow. This is suspended driver's license, first offense, $500. So why does it say, okay, $500 bond? Court finds probable cause for your arrest. What say you, Mr. Romero?
Judge, I realize that she missed court, and she realized she missed court. Now, my understanding is that her driver's license was suspended because tickets, she informed me she paid off
you
her
have a
tickets.
driving record?
She actually paid a restoration fee of $33. She was expecting it in the mail, so she thought in her mind, because she took care of the tickets, that would alleviate the court date. I advised her that would not. Judge, I'm going to be asking you to consider releasing her ROR. She's 24 years old. She lives locally here in Coral Springs. She's a real estate agent. I'm going to be asking the court to consider releasing her ROR.
She doesn't even have a driver's license.
We have a driver, we have a record.
And there's multiple failures to appear, Your Honor.
There are.
Does it show that she went ahead and basically paid off the tickets, and she paid from what she informed me? It's called a restoration fee for $33, and she's expecting her driver's license in the mail.
Do you see anything saying paper?
I don't see it here.
Look,
No payment.
oh, that it's dated 8/8.
Oh, okay.
She actually informed me that she actually had the receipt from DNB, and she provided that to law enforcement when she was pulled
What
over.
can she afford to pay for bond? She has multiple failures to appear.
She has a lot more to go on, pay off.
Yeah.
I mean, she did pay, stated one in Palm
The
Beach
Miami address.
and one date. But the Broward one
Judge,
still shows.
if you could reduce it to $100.
Can she afford it? She has it in property?
No, but she believes she can contact someone for it.
All right, this is what I can do. I'll give you the option. I can either do the $100 or standard pretrial.
Pre-trial, Judge, you'd appreciate that.
Okay, ma'am, so I'm not gonna require a bond. I'm gonna put you on standard pretrial. Mr. Romero's gonna give you a map. You have to report within, and I want everybody to listen up. When I put you on pretrial services, this isn't for a GPS, this is just standard pretrial supervision. You have to report within 24 hours of your release.
Bond outs.
I'll tell you how many times on each individual case you have to call up. So, ma'am, you have to report within 24 hours. Call in twice a week. Report one time a month in person, no reporting after court. Thank you, ma'am, good luck to you.
Judge, I got a call from North Broward in reference to a couple of the municipal ordinances.
Well, there's nothing I can do with them.
Two of them are medical resets.
All right, so we'll just deal with them then. If they're
Okay.
medical resets, we'll
That's
decide
fine.
what their bond's gonna be. Okay, Dalal Abu Jaber,
North Broward, she'd like to resolve count one, Judge.
Does I have the corrective action form for count two, that case that was booked on her does not belong to her? I'm not sure if they put it on the finding.
all I have is a KPS misdemeanor for possession of drug paraphernalia.
She's not gonna do
They
anything.
crossed out the grand theft.
Right, here's the corrective action form that justifies
All right, so just give it to me and I'll put it in here, the clerk can attach it. Thank you, Sheila, I
Just
appreciate
ripped
it.
out.
So that's the
What'd you
only
do
thing we're mad, what's happened, the grand theft with someone else?
Yeah.
All right, so
Here.
Ms. Abu Jaber, you have a KPS misdemeanor. For a misdemeanor, I'm sorry. For possession of drug paraphernalia. You were given a notice to appear in court and you failed to appear. Bond set at $25. What say you, Mr., thank you. What say you, Mr. Reedy?
Ms. Abu Jaber would like to resolve the matter this morning, Your Honor.
Sure.
Oh,
State,
it's
you have
misdemeanor,
an
sorry, she
offer?
changed it.
We're just taking a look. This is just for the paraphernalia charge?
Yes, the grand theft auto is someone else.
Okay, we'll go with the withholding court costs, Your Honor.
Would you like to accept the withheld adjudication, no conviction on your record, and court costs, Ms. Abu Jaber?
Yes, sir.
You have to pay the court costs, or it could affect your driver's license, or it could affect your line of credit. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They actually have a Joseph Bass for this grand theft and fraud. You might wanna, I'm gonna detach, or you might wanna take a look at this. It's for someone else's case after I'm done with it, okay? All right, I'm sorry, you said a withhold?
Withholding court costs, Your Honor, yes.
That what you wanna do, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear and or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
That's your left hand. Raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, put your hand down. Your name is Dalal, D-A-L-A-L. Abujaber, A-B-U-J-A-B-E-R.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you understand, ma'am, that you're giving up your right to a trial?
Yeah.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No, ma'am.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to discharge could result in deportation proceedings and affect your ability to remain in the United States.
Yes, ma'am.
Keeping that in mind, how do you want to plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest to possession of drug paraphernalia?
No guilty.
Pardon?
Not guilty.
If you plead not guilty, that means you want to fight the charge and come back to
I
court.
mean, no contest.
No contest means you're not admitting it, you're not denying it, you feel it's in your best interest to resolve the case with this offer.
Right.
So how do you want to plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest to possession of drug
No
paraphernalia?
contest.
Okay. That means that you're admitting to the charge and you want to resolve your case today. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had enough of time to talk to Mr. Reedy, your
Right.
attorney, who's in the
Yeah.
courtroom with me?
Yes, ma'am.
And you feel that your no contest plea is in your best interest?
Yeah.
It's yes or no, or I don't know.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, court's gonna accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered, court has reviewed the court file, finds probable cause for the plea, withhold of adjudication, court costs $78, 6 months to pay, partial payments accepted, court takes judicial notice of time served
Thank you.
in the Broward County Jail. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you, ma'am, good luck to you. All right, so I'm gonna give you the corrected booking sheet on this, Madam Clerk, and then where I detached it, let me take out the staple so you don't. All right, I took out the staple because I didn't want it to prick you, okay? Thank you. All right, next one is Chantel McLeod,
North Broward.
North Broward. Hello, Miss McLeod, you have petty theft, second degree, second offense, $100 bond. Count 2 is violation of community control, no bond hold. Count 3 is grand theft auto, $1,000 bond. Count 4 is possess and/or use drug paraphernalia, $100 bond. 5 and 6 are probation violations or community control. You do have a hearing in front of Judge Michael Usan on your violation of community control, violation of probation on November 8th, which is tomorrow, at 8:30 a.m. Court finds probable cause. Court is gonna order no victim contact with Wiskin Felix, direct or indirect. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. I think there's another victim here. And the other one is Damaris Palma. So
Who's that?
you'll have to speak to your attorney who it is. It's the alleged victim in the case.
Victim contact. We get dispositions and stuff like that, we do it.
She had a grand theft auto in 2017. She got 1 year, 6 months. Then she had another one. She got 1 year, 2 months, and 4 days. Court finds probable cause. What say you, defense?
I'd ask you to leave the bonds in place, Judge.
All right, court's gonna set the bond. You want $1 or ROR? $1 on count 1, no bond on count 2. Count 3 is $1,000, count 4 is $1, so she'll get gain time. Counts 5 and 6 are no bond hold, no victim contact, direct or indirect. Thank you, ma'am. You'll see your division judge, Judge Michael Usan, tomorrow. Good luck to you. Nicole Moncor.
Let's see what bond sheet it is, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
She's here, Madam Judge, and she is approaching. Come on up, ma'am.
Sure. Here you go. Okay, Ms. Moncur, you have burglary, occupied structure, unarmed, no bond required. We need to talk about bond. Count 2 is arson, first degree, dwelling, building, people present. need to talk about bond. Count 3 is violation of injunction, unlawful threat, word, or act of violence, talk about bond. And then count 4 is violation of an injunction with 500 feet of a residence, school, or employment. Court does find probable cause. What say you, State?
Yes, Your Honor, for, charge one, $20,000, for count two, $20,000, for count three, $500, and for count four would be $1,000. And no victim contact, no return on the last one as well.
Okay, the no victim contact is with LM and SM. Is that correct, State?
State would also request no firearms, no ammunition.
Okay.
And what were the, I'm sorry, Judge, what were the initials you gave? NM, you said?
I just got it.
LM and SM. And you don't have to stand.
Force of habit.
How you doing, Mr. Jalen?
I'm good, Judge.
Give me 1 second, let's just finish this case.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know if you were calling me or not.
No, that's okay, I'm just saying hello, I see you standing there.
Yes, Judge, that does appear to be the correct.
Okay, thank you. All right. What say you, defense?
Judge, Miss Monacore, she's been residing in our community her whole entire life. She's 36 years old. Unfortunately, right now, she's going through a tough time. Unfortunately, she's homeless. She's not working. She owns no sort of property. She has no money in the bank. She is, for all intents and purposes, financially indigent. So I'd ask you to take that into consideration, determining reasonable release conditions on Miss Monacore's behalf.
Has shown a propensity to violate a protective injunction in the past. We're concerned for the victim's safety.
Okay. All right, the court has concern for the nature and probability of danger which the defendant's release poses to the community. It states here in the probable cause affidavit that the defendant allegedly obtained a gas can filled with gasoline located within a shed in the backyard, poured gasoline on the ground and gas and on the walls of the residence, and ignited the gasoline with the lighter. Therefore, the court is going to set bond at $25,000 on count 1, $20,000 on count 2. For the violation of the unlawful threat, court will set bond at $1,000, and the violation of the injunction within 500 feet, court's going to set at $2,500. No victim contact, direct or indirect, with LM, SM, and I want you to maintain 1,000 feet at this point. No possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons, and I want you to maintain 1,000 feet from 200 Northwest 4th Avenue in Deerfield Beach, Florida. If I didn't say it, maintain 1,000 feet minimum. And fourth condition's gonna be a GPS level 2. Thank you, ma'am, good luck to you. Who do you have, Mr. Jelen?
Cedric McFadden's on page 17.
Okay, so,
Come on up, sir.
give me
Attorney Mr.
a
Jelen is the
moment to
president.
find it.
In the bottom, in the middle screen, okay?
McFadden.
Looks like he's got court tomorrow with Judge Porth.
Give me 1 second to find it. What's the first name?
Excedric.
What?
David Chandler?
Excedrick. Excedric.
Okay, I have it. This is page what, 16? 17, thank you. All right. Okay, are you Excedric McFadden, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you have aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, and you have count 2, a probation violation. You are going before your division judge, Judge Ari Porf, tomorrow morning. You are correct, Mr. Dillon, at 8:30 a.m. Court does find probable cause for your arrest. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim in the case with the initials DED.
And Judge, he's a hospital return. He's gonna go see his judge tomorrow. I just want to invoke his rights, make sure that nobody speaks to them, law enforcement or anybody.
Okay.
And eccentric Judge Malika here, even if she wanted to release you, she can't. Only Judge Porth can do that, and you got court with him tomorrow. You understand? All right,
All
thanks.
right, what say you, state, with regard to a bond on count one?
Yes, Your Honor, due to the facts of the case, the state would ask for a $50,000 bond for count one.
I'd ask for a $2,500 bond, Judge. It's pointless. Such a high bond for a variety of reasons, including the fact that he's on probation with Judge Porth, no bond, and is a hospital return.
Says he stabbed someone on his right neck and leg. What's his prior history? Obviously, he has this violation of probation, he has something.
The charge he's on for, I think, is criminal mischief or throwing a missile.
Yeah, shooting or throwing a missile.
That was
2017, he got
rocks
3
and
years community
stone.
supervision.
Yeah.
Is he on community control or
I
probation?
think he's on probation. Again, it's Judge Porth.
He just released from prison on June 1st, 2017. He has what he's on probation for, and then he has another case in 2015, possession of cocaine with intent to sell, manufacture, possession of cocaine. 2014, carrying a concealed firearm, possession of firearm by a convicted felon, 2014.
You just turned it on.
2012, possession of cocaine with intent. Tampering with
I'm just
witness.
wondering if we have to do a stay away order from this area. I don't. State, what's 2532 Northwest 9th Place, Fort Lauderdale? Is that a home or a residence or what is it?
2532 what?
Northwest 9th Place, Fort Lauderdale. I'm just wondering, Mr. Jelen, if I have to do an order of no return.
I would just, just,
Because your client lives at 2508,
Yeah, I
so
mean,
we gotta find out what it is.
can you just leave all that for Judge Porth tomorrow?
I can't.
Yes, Your Honor, it looks like a home.
All right, so I'm gonna do no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with DED. I know you're not allowed to have any firearms, ammunition, or weapons, but I'm saying it anyway. No possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. I am gonna do a GPS level 2, and no return to 2532 Northwest 9th Place, Fort Lauderdale. If there's an issue, Ms. Patrice, with you do a 500 minimum with the GPS, he's allowed to reside at his home if he does reside at 2508, but I don't want him going by this house. I want him to maintain a reasonable distance from it. And court's gonna set a $7,500 bond on 1, no bond on 2. Thank you, sir, good luck to you.
2 is the VOP, Judge?
No bond.
That's 2, right, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Have a good day.
All right, we're gonna
Oh, wait,
go out for a
and again, maybe another PRR issue, et cetera.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Dukes? Thank you.
No problem, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Dukes, you have probation violation or community control, no bond hold. Count 2 is driving while license is suspended, third or subsequent offense, $750 bond. Count 3 is a capious misdemeanor, $250 bond. That's for possession of drug paraphernalia. You also have an expired motor vehicle registration over 6 months, first offense. It's actually not, is that not for magistrate? It says NA, Sheila?
Count what, 4?
Huh?
Which one, Judge?
The expired motor vehicle registration? Okay, that's not for magistrate, actually. And the failure to wear a safety belt, I know that's not for magistrate. So, the only bonds that we have to deal with are counts 2 and 3. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Your Honor, I'd ask you to leave the bonds in place. Ms. Dukes, as I advised her, has court tomorrow and also has court on Friday for the misdemeanor capious.
Yeah, so she's going before Judge Barbara Barbara Duffy tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. And then she's going before Judge Carpenter Toy on Friday at 10 a.m. Court will set the bond, leave the bond at $750 on 2, $1 on 3, or an ROR, which do you prefer? I'd rather do $1 so she goes.
$1 would be fine, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good luck to you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Quittel Cartwright?
She's here, President Main, Judge, and she's approaching.
Thank
Come on
you.
up, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. You have grand theft 5,000 or more, but less than 10,000. Bond is set at $1,000. Tries to take total value of all items, $74.59. No return to the target, located at 3251 Hollywood Boulevard, Hollywood, Florida. Court finds probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, it's being Miss Cartwright. She's 26 years old, been here her whole entire life. Right now, as you can see, due to the circumstance, she's no longer working, but she is looking for employment. Most importantly, Judge, my understanding is she has a clean record. She is a registered voter here in Broward County. She lives in Hollywood with her aunt and grandmother. Considering she's presumed innocent, Judge, and this is her, she has a clean record, if the state can confirm that, I'd be asking the court to consider an ROR on Ms. Cartwright's behalf.
She has no priors, Your Honor. However, we would still request a pretrial.
Right. This is a lot of money that is involved with the allegations. So I won't require a bond, no return to target, standard pretrial supervision. She has to report within 24 hours of her release. However, I'm gonna have her call in 4 days a week. Report one time a month. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you. Marlene Camargo.
She is here at Main, Judge. She's approaching. Come on up, ma'am.
She has no priors on there.
Here you go, Mr. Chief.
Thank you.
No, she has no priors.
Okay, Ms. Camargo, you have grand theft between $300 and $5,000. Court does find probable cause. There's a $1,000 bond. Hello.
Hi, I'm her sister. I can provide the bond.
Okay, so what is your first and last name?
My first name is Maria. The last name is Heber.
Spell the last name.
H-E-B as in boy, E-R.
Okay, so you can afford to pay the $1,000 bond?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, court's gonna order no return to Macy's. At 11605 Pines Boulevard, Pembroke Pines, Florida. Do you understand, ma'am? If you go back there, you'll be arrested?
You understand you can't go back there? Okay.
Okay, $1,000 bond, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, Judge, quickly, I know Ms. Camargo is on Social Security. She's on a fixed income. Having said that, she's 72 years old. I know the sister's probably gonna go through a bondsman. I don't know how many hours it's gonna take. Judge, this is her first arrest ever. I'm gonna be asking for the court to consider releasing her ROR so her release here could be expedited, Judge.
No,
Since
she
is gonna
doesn't
be
have
in
ties
court.
to the community. Court has
She's
a.
been here 45 years, Judge. She's 72 years old. She lives in Pembroke Pines. She's been residing at the same apartment now for about 4 years. She's a U.S. citizen. Considering this is a nonviolent offense or first contact, I'm going to renew my request to have her release ROR.
$1,000 bond. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Edward Moffett.
Muppet.
Thank you, ma'am. So you just go to a bondsman and pay it, or you can go over to the jail and pay $1,000 cash?
It says sent to.
You can ask Mr.
an H,
Reedy,
so
he'll explain it to you.
It's a VOP.
Okay, Edward Moffett, is that your name, sir?
Pass it on. This is an envelope. Pass it
Good
on.
morning, sir. You have a KPS traffic $500 bond. You have a KPS traffic $2,000 bond. You do have a writ of arrest for $1,005. I don't know what judge it is. Let me see. It's actually, your one KPS is a 2007 case, failure to register a vehicle,
Both cases.
and driving while license is suspended. And then you have a writ of arrest. It appears it was signed January 23rd, 2009. Judge Susan Greenhot. What say you, defense?
Judge, considering the age of the warrants, 2007, Mr. Moffett advised me now he has a valid driver's license. I'm going to ask for an ROR on counts 1 and 2. I advise him that has no power or no jurisdiction when it comes to count 3, so we're just asking for an ROR on count 1 and 2.
Okay, I'll ROR him, but he's gotta show up for court. Thank you.
Yes, Judge.
Paul Ellis,
Mr.
Ellickless.
Ellickless? He's approaching, Judge.
Okay, good morning, sir. You have a KPS misdemeanor driving while license is suspended, $500 bond issued by Judge Hurley, it appears, or Luke Schiff. Driving while license is suspended, $500 bond, court finds probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, Mr. Ellickless advised me he didn't know he had a court date, so I'm going to be asking for an ROR. He advised me he has no money to post the $500, nor does he know anyone that can post this $500 bond.
Well, this is a 2016 case. If he didn't know his court date, he could have looked it up online. What could he pay for bond?
He advised me he had no money when he came into in his property. He has no money on the outside, Judge.
All right.
It's 2001.
Standard pretrial supervision, report within 24 hours of your release. If you don't, sir, there'll be a warrant issued for your arrest. You might have a no bond hold.
For trial.
Warrant calling in twice a week. Report once a month. No reporting after court. No bond required. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Look for your court date.
Yeah, that's all you have to do.
Michael Cade, North Broward. Good morning, Mrs. Cade. How are you?
I'm pretty good, man. I like the salt. I'm trying to worry why we keep getting these, nothing, man. How you doing?
Good. All right. So he has a trespass, other structure, $500 bond. He's going before Judge Gottlieb. Why don't we leave the bond in place and let Judge Gottlieb,
I see a note that it was at one point a Judge Lerner Wren
and he
case.
probably rejected.
That could be. I agree, Judge.
Yeah, let's just let it go before Judge Gottlieb. Yeah. So it was rejected by Judge Wren's division? Okay. All right, sir, you'll see Judge Gottlieb tomorrow. Good luck to you, okay?
Yeah.
Joseph Gonzalez.
Judge, come on up, Mr. Gonzalez.
Main jail?
Oh, and Judge, he declined the services of public defender.
Okay, all right, Mr. Gonzalez, you have operating with the suspended DL, second offense. Judge Evans did a $750 bond. You no-showed a calendar call on November 1, 2018. Court finds
Yes.
probable cause. You'll see Judge Evans tomorrow. $750 bond. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. T-Von Bowens?
Mr. Bowens, come on up, please.
Mr. Bowens, good morning, sir. You have a resisting an officer obstructing without violence. $100 bond. Count 2 is trespassing, unoccupied structure or conveyance. Court does find probable cause.
I have an issue with probable cause, Judge.
All right, let me just read this for a second.
Sure.
To the trespass?
For both.
Okay, go ahead.
As to the resisting arrest without violence in count 1, the bare bones language of this probable cause affidavit does not indicate that Mr. Bowens was ever advised to stop by law enforcement. I don't think the language here is sufficient to establish probable cause for that offense.
Well, he fled on foot, it said.
So, there's nothing in here that says that the officer said, you know, stop, you're under arrest. There's no indication that the officer was in uniform or identified himself as a police officer. Absent those elements, there is no probable cause. That would be my argument as to count 1. I have a similar argument as to count 2. It says he was identified in a passenger that had unlawfully entered and remained inside a vehicle, which is a totally conclusatory statement. It doesn't indicate when he got into the vehicle, how long he was inside the vehicle, whether he had any reason to know that the vehicle was stolen. He is not the driver of the vehicle, he's a passenger. So I would argue that there is no probable cause to support that charge either.
See that the officer was effectuating a traffic stop on a vehicle that was reported stolen, and the defendant committed was commonly known as a bailout and proceeded to leave on foot prior to an officer making any other determinations as to what was going on with the car, thereby impeding the investigation. The fact that the car was stolen, regardless of the defendant's knowledge of it being stolen, he was present in the vehicle without owner's permission, meeting the elements for a trespass.
It does not even say he was inside the vehicle. It said at one point in time, we don't know when,
He
he
was a
may have
passenger.
unlawfully entered the vehicle.
But it said was a passenger, so
I
if
think
he's a
that based on
passenger-
the scant amount of detail that we have based on this probable cause affidavit, Judge, I mean, if an officer wants to make an arrest, they should at least make an effort to put some details in their report. And there are no details in this report whatsoever.
I agree it's bare bones, but this is probable cause. Court does find probable cause. $100 bond on 1, 2 is no bond required. What say you? No victim contact with BSF.
Judge, consider my colleague's argument as far as the, I guess, limited information in the probable cause affidavit for mitigation purposes. I'd ask the court to consider an RR, if not, just leave the $100 bond in place.
Can he pay it?
He's out on a couple, cases also, Your Honor.
What do you mean?
He's out on possession of cannabis misdemeanor. Also, he's out on deliberate cocaine, possession of cocaine with intent to sell, and possession of cannabis. So he
What's his bonds in those cases?
Judge, he informed me he's been going to court. He actually went to court on Monday. I believe one of the counts was
I'm
already
asking,
dropped.
hold on a moment. What are his
Okay.
bonds?
looks like 2,500, 2,500, 2,500, 100, and 1,000.
No, he's already on release pending resolution of that matter. Court's going to raise his bond to $250 on count 1. No bond required on 2. No victim contact, direct or indirect, with BSF. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. As far as those, you can forward that to the division judge. Eduardo DeLeon. These are 3 no bond holds.
Mr. DeLeon is a medical reset, Judge.
All right, well, he has 3 no bond holds, so
They're gonna rent mental health division, so he's going there tomorrow.
wanna, waive his appearance so he can get going over there? Mr. Reedy, Mr. Romero, it doesn't matter to me, I'm just letting you know. Okay, we'll make it a medical reset. Where is he?
Maine.
Okay, make it a medical reset. If not, we'll deal with it tomorrow. Johnny Diaz-Sayas,
Mr. Diaz-Sayas, come on up, please.
Main Jail.
Yes, he's here at Maine.
Okay, sir, you have a touch or strike battery, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials GAL. Court notes, it says, I have dealt with the arrestee on numerous incidents and was able to identify him from the video footage as a Hispanic male wearing the orange shirt who struck the victim. Apparently, he punched the victim in the face a couple times and was bloody. What say you, defense?
Judge, can I check to see if his bond's been posted?
Sure. No victim contact, direct or indirect, with GAL. No possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. What's his prior state?
No, Judge.
None? His bond hasn't posted.
Judge, no, it has not.
Hold
That's
on,
what
let's
Mr.
just find out his
Diaz-Sayas-
priors.
Yes, Judge. There's a 2018 resisting arrest, a 2014 burglary of a conveyance unoccupied,
Is he a convicted felon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
All right, so no victim contact, direct or indirect, with GAL, no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons, even though you're not allowed to, but I'm gonna say it anyway. And I want you to maintain 500 feet minimum from GAL. What say you, defense? I'm sorry.
No problem, Judge. And speaking of Mr. Diaz, that was his fear. If it doesn't appear in the system that was posted, he believes that his mother probably was unable to come up with the bond money. I believe he contacted her early yesterday. So we're gonna be asking the court to consider releasing him on standard pretrial release.
$1,000 bond. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Next one is James Ferguson.
Mr. Ferguson, come on up.
Hey, Mr. Ferguson, you have petty theft, first degree, between $100 to $300, bond set at $100. Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna order no return to the Walmart at 2300 West Atlantic Boulevard, Pompano Beach, Florida. What say you, defense? Court does find probable cause.
Judge, and speaking of Mr. Ferguson, he wishes to ask court if you would consider resolving this matter today.
State, you have an offer?
Adjudication court cost no return.
Adjudication court costs no return, Your Honor.
Credit time, sir.
Credit time, sir.
He wishes to accept the state's offer, Judge.
Sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes,
Okay. All right. Is your name James Ferguson?
yes.
What's yeah mean?
Huh?
Does yeah mean yes or no?
Yes, yes.
All right, put your hand down. You spell your name Ferguson?
Yes.
All right, sir, it's my understanding through your attorney, Mr. Romero, that you want to give up all your rights to a trial?
Yes.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No, ma'am.
You understand that you can't return to the Walmart where this incident, the address I just read, where this incident allegedly occurred, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
If you go back there, you'll be arrested. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No, ma'am.
Are you doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No, ma'am.
You've had enough of time to speak to your attorney, Mr. Reedy? I'm sorry, Mr. Romero.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, how do you want to plead to petty theft, first degree, property between 100 to 300? Guilty, not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
All right, court's going to accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file, finds probable cause for the plea. Adjudication court costs $293. 6 months to pay, partial payments accepted, no return to the Walmart. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court, sir. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Good luck, sir. Thank you.
All right, Ronald Large, please, Lardge.
He's a medical loan judge.
All
Like, is it
right,
valid now? Oh, he's got a 90,000.
Jeffrey Bien Aim.
He's here, President Judge.
Hey, Mr. Aim, how are you this morning, sir?
I'm okay.
All right, you have operating without a valid DL. No show at arraignment on 10/24/18. $500 bond, and then you have operating without a valid license again. $250 bond. You have a bond surrender. It's in front of Lou Schiff. Total bond is $750. You are going before Judge Melinda Brown tomorrow. Court finds probable cause for your arrest. What say you, defense?
Judge, it's me, Mr. Benamy. He informed me the reason, one of the reasons why he missed court was, his daughter was born. That led to, well, that was the reason why he missed court. So Judge, we're gonna be asking the court to consider releasing him ROR. If not, I did advise Mr. Benamy will be going to court tomorrow at 9 a.m.
What time was, when was his daughter born?
2015.
February 11th, 2018. He's trying to tell me the time right now.
Well, it says he failed to appear October 30th. I mean, yeah, October 30th, so. Huh?
Oh, that was.
Capias is from 2015, Your Honor.
Pardon?
The original Capias is from 2015.
Yeah, and then he has it, and then he did a letter. I'm gonna leave the bond in place. I mean, he had D6s already. The 15 case, he keeps doing it, and let him resolve it tomorrow, unless he wants to resolve it today. But I don't want him to have to resolve it because of the bonds.
Judge, would your honor be inclined to grant him pretrial release?
No, he doesn't show up to court, obviously, multiple
Okay, he'll
times.
go to court tomorrow. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Samuel Fuentes Santos.
Mr. Fuentes, come on up, please.
Good morning, Mr. Santos. You have a capias misdemeanor. Failure to register a vehicle, $100 bond. Court finds probable cause he failed to appear for court. It's going before Judge Brown tomorrow. Does he want to resolve this case, or what are we doing with it?
He does.
Okay. All right. Sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth? Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth? Okay, your name is Samuel Fuentes Santos, Santos?
They're not driving, that's it.
Yes.
All right, state what's an offer for this?
Withhold court costs, Your Honor.
All right. Your attorney has told me, Mr. Santos, that you want to resolve your case today and give up all your rights to a trial?
Do you wish to give up all your rights to a trial?
What?
Do you wish to give up all your rights to a trial, sir?
What does that mean, right?
There's not going to be a trial. You're giving up those rights to have the state prove this case. Correct? Yes? One moment, Judge. He's ready to proceed, Judge. Just listen to the court. Yeah.
All right, sir, so Mr. Reedy, your attorney, Mr. Romero, who's standing next to you, your attorney, is telling me you want to give up all your rights to a trial? Is that true?
Yeah, I want to trust that. Well,
You want to give up your rights to a
yes,
trial?
yes, Your Honor, yes.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No,
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
no,
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
no.
How do you want to plead to failure to register a vehicle? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
Court's going to accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file, finds probable cause for the plea. Withhold, court costs $293, 6 months to pay, partial payments accepted. Court takes judicial notice of the time that you served. Sir, in the Broward County Jail, you have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you.
Good luck, sir.
Davis Curry? Come on up, Mr. Curry, where are you?
Mr. Curry, come on up. He's here.
And then
And he declined the services of public
No,
defender.
sir, I understand what she was saying. She explained to me that,
Okay.
that I needed, public
He wishes to go with the public defender.
All right, so, Mr. Curry, you have resisting an officer, obstructing without violence, $100 bond, operating without a valid DL, no bond required. Counts 3 and 4 are not for magistrate, they're civil traffic infractions. Failure to wear a safety belt, side wind rest, sunscreen violation, no bond required for those. Count 5 is a capious misdemeanor, it's a $1,000 bond, you are going before Judge Melinda Brown for operating without a valid license. $1,000 bond, total bond is $1,100. Court finds probable cause for your arrest, what say you?
And speaking with Mr. Curry this morning, Judge, he wishes to resolve this case today.
What's your offer, State?
You see two prior resistings in 2016, a resisting a merchant in 2012.
So what's your offer? The resisting without and the...
Adjudication, court cost, credit time served for the resisting, operating without,
Withhold?
adjudication, court cost.
Judge, if that's the state's offer, Mr. Curry wishes to accept the state's offer
Okay, raise your right hand, sir.
on all
Do you-
matters.
Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Davis Dwayne Curry, C-U-R-R-Y? C-U-R-R-Y is how you spell your last name?
C-U-R-R-Y.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. It's my understanding, Mr. Curry, that you want to resolve your case today and give up all your rights to a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
You've had enough of time to talk to your attorney, Mr. Romero, who's standing next to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication, sir?
No, ma'am.
How do you want to plead to resisting an officer, obstructing without violence, operating without a valid license, and operating without a valid license? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
No contest.
Do you feel this plea is in your best interest, sir? Do you feel that this plea, no contest, is in your best interest to all three charges?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, court's going to accept your plea, find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file, finds probable cause for the plea, adjudication, and court costs on counts 1 and 5. The KP is operating without a valid license. The first count 2, the court's just going to adjudicate. I'll give you 6 months to pay, partial payments accepted. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Your Honor, Paul Ryan.
Count 3, Judge, in count 3, sir.
I'm not gonna deal with them. They say
Would
not
you-
for magistrate. I'm not supposed to touch them.
So, no, okay, the infractions are still
Yeah.
there.
Paul Ryan?
Yes, Paul Ryan would like a case called out of turn on page 11, Stephen Kirk.
What page are we on now?
We are on page 8.
Just a few more. No, not that much. Maybe 10 more cases ahead. Kirk, last name Kirk.
Okay, are you Stephen Kirk or Stephen Kirk, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, good morning. You have some ad charges. Burglary, unoccupied dwelling, unarmed. We need to talk about bond.
That's him?
Count 5 is petty
Been there
theft,
for a while.
first degree, between $100 and $300.
Where were these charges from and when are they from?
All right, it says October 18th, 2018. Parked a white SUV in front of 4887 Northeast 14th Avenue in Pompano. He exited the vehicle, stole an air compressor from the top of the driveway directly in front of the garage. He then fled from the vehicle, was captured on someone's video surveillance system. And apparently the person who you allegedly stole it from stated she had known you for a few years and you used to work with her and her husband.
He has the
Court
count
finds
one.
probable cause, court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials RAD.
Count four.
2,000 each.
State your mic's on, you gotta turn it on and off if you
Oh.
don't want us to hear you.
I'm sorry.
That's all right, no problem. I don't know if you mean for us to hear you.
What about the petty theft? Where is that from?
State, where's the petty theft from?
Petty theft.
Oh, the burglary, it's from the, it's from taking the stolen air, the air compressor. So it's both from the same incident, sir.
How can I have two charges for one incident for the same?
All right, sir, you're gonna have to speak to your attorney about that. I can't answer all these questions. All I can tell you is the court does find probable cause.
Same conditions
Okay.
as the other counts.
Okay, state, what say you with regard to count 1?
We're gonna request the same conditions as the prior cases, as well as, no victim contact, no return to that location,
Okay, so what's the amount of the bond you're seeking?
1,000 each. 1,000 each.
Mr. Kirk has a no bond hold, Judge. So I
Can I
think
get,
he's gonna have to go in front of his division judge to resolve these matters in any event. I do not see an upcoming court date for him, however.
What does he have? What's pending?
There's
He
a-
has a burglary dwelling, robbery without a firearm, grand theft auto, suspended license.
All right, that's good enough.
I think $1,000,
can
consider,
can I get my pretrial reinstated on the prior cases, please?
Okay, we're only here today, sir, on these charges. So this is what we're gonna do. 1,000 on 4, 1,000 on 5, no victim contact, direct or indirect with RAD, and maintain
Okay.
1,000 feet minimum. GPS level 2, no return to 4887 Northeast 14th Avenue, Pompano Beach, and maintain 1,000 feet. No possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons, sir.
Yep.
Thank you, good luck to you. Dennis Chappell, please.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Sure. Okay, Mr. Chappell, good morning, sir. You have criminal mischief, $200 or less, $25 bond. Court is gonna order no return to the Icon condos at 500 East Las Olas Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. What say you, defense? Okay,
State agrees.
all right, so let's refer to Judge Wren.
Just put them into the learner rights division.
Okay, sir, so you'll see Judge Wren tomorrow,
That's
okay?
That's what we
She'll
did.
talk to you, she has services available for you. and you can have a chat with her tomorrow, okay? Good luck to you, sir. I need this after it's signed, because I gotta write down the name and number. Thank you. Robert Maddox? Or you know
Mr.
what,
Maddox
just give
is
me the
approaching,
sheet
Judge.
back before you take it apart. Madam Clerk, can I have that one back with the cover sheet? I'm just gonna make a copy of it. This one? The one that I just, that one right there. Yes. Let's make a copy of this. I don't need that back. Okay. All right, are you Robert Maddox, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you have trespass, failure to leave property upon order by owner. $25 bond, court does find probable cause. All right, so apparently your mother, E, G, and S, G, do not want you back at the residence. So court's gonna order no return to 1514 Northwest, I'm sorry, Southwest 9th Avenue in Fort Lauderdale.
Yes, ma'am.
And I want you to maintain a minimum of 500 feet.
Yes, ma'am. I'm not even going.
All right, what's his prior history?
Seeing that he was just released from prison, January 19th of this year, not just released, we're seeing
Released from prison
attempted-
for what?
we have a battery, domestic violence, we have battery, touch strike, we have simple battery, criminal mischief, battery on law enforcement, domestic violence, petty theft, battery strangulation, domestic violence, trespass, probation violations, DUI, and more probation violations. Burglary, dwelling unoccupied, fail to appear, another battery, and another fail to appear.
Okay, what say you?
Judge, and speaking of Mr. Maddox, he's not going to be returning to that location anymore. Mr. Maddox did inform me that he wishes for me to ask the court if he would consider resolving this matter today.
I'm not gonna resolve it because one of the homeowners asked him to leave, and the officer asked him to leave. So I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna require the $25 bond, but I am gonna order no return to 1514 Southwest 9th Avenue, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and maintain 500 feet minimum distance. I am gonna put him on standard pretrial supervision. He can report within 24 hours of his release. Call
Yes,
in
Judge.
4 times a week, report once a month, no reporting after court. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Yes, ma'am.
William Farley.
You got today?
Municipal ordinance.
Oh. All right. It's almost 10 o'clock. All right. Arthur O'Neill, another one.
Arthur
Never
O'Neill,
mind.
medical loan, Judge, I've been advised.
All right, well, we'll just leave it for now because it has an MO attached to it. Alberto Candelaria.
And Mr. Candelaria would like to resolve this matter today, if possible, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Candelaria. You have a trespassing at Broward General Hospital. Court finds probable cause. $25 bond. Don't talk about the facts of your case, sir. I'm just letting you know where it is.
Yeah. It's a public place.
Just taking a look at Briar's.
Yeah. I am gonna tell you, sir, no return to Broward General Hospital, 1600 South Andrews Avenue.
Okay. I'll just go to the other division with my asthma as well. I'll have to go to the other clinics. Yeah, they got quite a few of them.
Give me one moment. All right, so we have no return to Broward General Hospital. What say you, defense?
Mr. Candelaria would like to resolve this matter today, Judge.
State, do you have an offer?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer today from the state would be a withholding court costs, and as you previously mentioned, no return to Broward General Hospital.
I don't know exactly what that means, Mr. Candelaria, but right now, the offer is a withheld adjudication, which is no conviction on your record,
Right
and
now,
court
the offer
costs.
is,
But,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
put
not
him on
gonna happen.
standard.
all right. Can you make a $25 bond?
No, I can, no, $25 bond, yeah, I'll be able to bond out.
Okay.
I was thrown out of the place for paying my.
Don't discuss the facts of the case, sir. If you can bond out, bond
No,
out. Keep track of your
I'm
court
not-
dates.
Yeah, I'm not in the situation to give free money away to people or to the courtroom or any of that. So.
Is this a Judge Wren case, maybe?
You know, I don't know, Judge. When I spoke with him initially, he seemed okay.
All right, so we'll leave the bond in place. No return, sir. Thank you. Good luck to you.
Alrighty, praise God, hallelujah.
Jesus Herrera, Liz.
Don't worry about it, that's,
All right, we're gonna have to do something with probable cause here, folks.
it's inside the resets.
So any
Get it.
objection to probable cause? Take your time,
Herrera.
no rush.
Herrera last name?
This one?
No. Is that it? Yeah. Okay, I have my notes on it, hold on. This is his priors.
This guy?
Yep. It's, no, not this guy.
Oh,
He's on, he's not here, he's on loan. He's on a DUI, so he has DUI.
All right, I'm gonna put defendant to be brought to court for bond and release conditions, okay, Mr. Reedy?
He's got this.
Avanta Bailey,
That's the one for.
Yes,
number 1 through
good
8.
morning, sir, you have some ad charges.
What
You
was it, 1
have
through 8?
Yeah.
Yes.
robbery with a weapon, first-degree felony, hold for magistrate, and count 10 as grand theft, third-degree felony. Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna order no return to the Home Depot at 12525 West Sunrise Boulevard. What say you, state?
Yes, Your Honor, the state would be asking for a $10,000 bond for the robbery with a weapon and a $5,000 bond for the grand theft.
Your Honor, Mr. Bailey is represented by attorney Terry Moons. I contacted Mr. Moons' office earlier this morning, and left a message with his service, but I have not heard back.
All right, sir, so you want us to wait for your attorney, or would you like to reset this to 1 o'clock? I can also try to call your attorney now, or you could proceed with the public defender. It's up to you.
I guess with the public defense, he said something about electronic device with the robbery. He was gonna try to do something.
Okay, so,
That is correct. I did advise Mr. Bailey that I had an argument regarding the language of count 1. That the report
robbery?
states, for the robbery with a weapon, yes.
okay,
The report states a Home Depot loss prevention specialist attempted to stop, at which time the defendant sparked an electronic control device. I don't know what that is. I don't know.
it says, which was in his right hand and stated, "Don't come near me or you're gonna get it," so.
Yes, but that does not make it a weapon. I don't see any language in here that makes it a weapon. I don't even know what an electronic control device is, other than allegedly you can spark
It
it.
says he sparked, it sounds like a taser to me.
But it doesn't say that it's a taser. It says an electronic control device, and again, and I don't, maybe you know what that is, Judge? I don't know what that is,
Well, if something sparks to me and it's electronic and
but
says,
that doesn't make it a weapon.
"Don't come near me or you're gonna get it," to me, it's a weapon. I'm just saying, that's,
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I mean,
court does find probable cause.
I respectfully disagree with the court.
Okay, I understand. I get it. All right, so what say you with regard to bond, 10,000 and
I
5,000?
think 10,000 is awfully high, Judge, considering we don't even really know what weapon this is supposed to have been. Mr. Bailey does have a no bond hold on count 7 for a violation of probation, so he's not in a position to be released. I'd ask for a $2,500 bond.
All right, court's gonna do 5,000 on on the robbery, 10. The grand theft, I'll do 1,000. I am gonna do a GPS level 2. So you'll have to bond out, and then they'll fit you with a GPS, no return to the Home Depot. Thank you, sir, good luck to
I'm
you.
sorry, Judge, was that 10,000 or 5,000?
5,000.
5,000, thank
You
you.
asked for 10, I did 5.
No, absolutely, yes,
The
sir.
state would
Thank
also
you,
like to
sir.
request
Good luck
no
to you.
firearms, no weapons, Your
Shaquan
Honor.
Robertson,
Your Honor? Your Honor, if I may? Just, we would also like to request no firearms, no weapons, or anything. of any sort,
okay, bring
including
him back
electronic
for a
devices.
moment in North Broward. Bring Mr. Bailey back.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons, okay? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Luck to you. Shaquan Roberson, where is he?
Conte.
Conte.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hello. All right, you have an ad charge of burglary, unoccupied structure, unarmed. We need to talk about bond. Court is gonna order no return to the
Yes, Complaint Chief
7-Eleven
Roberson.
at 2099 North State Road 7, Water Hill.
We did
Can
Roberson.
you guys try to
Yes,
watch your mic
Your Honor.
over there, please? Just wanna make sure it's,
That's a.
Your Honor,
we didn't say-
Yes,
is
sir.
is
You put it
anyone
right there.
reading the affidavits in my charge? All of my
we have a
charges?
public defender here, Mr. Reedy, who's in the courtroom. Did you read the affidavit?
Yes, Judge, I've read all of Mr. Roberson's affidavits, all 9 or 10 of them over the last few days.
Do
They're
you
all
feel
pretty
that
much
these
the
are
same.
correct charges
Going
that are
into
being against-
stores and stealing Monster Energy drinks or items along of that nature, along with his co-defendant, Mr. Wright.
Yep.
Do you feel that these are the right aspects of charges that are being held against me? As far as burglary, unoccupied by structure?
Mr. Reedy, I'll direct that question to you.
It could be occupied, I guess, if, it could be worse.
How is that possible?
Well, the allegation is you went into these places and stole things, so that's a burglary.
Red Bull and Monster Energy drinks.
And I'm not saying it's true, and I'm not saying that's what happened, but as far as
You wouldn't
probable
think-
cause is concerned, there's certainly enough to support that allegation.
All
You
right,
wouldn't
so,
think that it would be grand
sir, I'm
theft?
gonna allow this conversation between you and your attorney. If you want additional time to talk to him for 1 moment. Do you need more time, Mr. Reedy?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so you're charged with count 19, burglary, unoccupied structure, unarmed, no return cert of a 7-Eleven, and I actually want you to maintain 1,000 feet minimum
Okay.
from this 7-Eleven. What say you, defense, state with regard to bond?
The state would be asking for a $1,000 bond, Judge.
Defense?
Mr. Roberson's bonds on his other 4 cases are in the area of $10,000. I don't think he's going to be able to post that. You should also know, Mr. Roberson, that it appears as though our office is going to be withdrawing from representing you, as we also represent Mr. Wright, and we cannot represent you both.
I understand that, and I was on the phone with the public defender's office this morning trying to figure out who is my public defender. I've been here 43 days today, and I still don't have a public defender, and I have a court appearance on the 13th of next week of November. And I'm trying to get my cases resolved, but I can't without no public defender.
Yes, you will have to have, I don't know when this is set for. This motion to withdraw, I don't see a date filed for that hearing. I'll check into that for you, sir, and get you into court on that motion to withdraw as soon as I can, so that you can get probably a regional conflict counsel will be appointed to represent you, and then if you can resolve your cases, you can do that with him at that time.
Okay.
All right, so $1,000 bond on this count for the state. No return to the 7-Eleven and maintain 1,000 feet minimum distance from the 7-Eleven at the address I previously stated. Good luck to you. Marquise
Your
Wright.
Honor.
Yes.
I got a Mr. Gomez, he's on page 10 and also page 28.
Okay, let me go to that.
Want
What's
to see
this?
him now or later?
Where's Mr. Gomez? Is that him?
He's right here.
Is that your last one?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we'll see him anyway.
Who is this?
All right, let me pull Mr. Gomez.
Gomez.
Does he need a Spanish interpreter? Do you
Gomez
speak
is the
English?
last case on the docket.
Okay.
Is this the last case of Wagner Gomez? Did he say?
Yes.
Yes. Last one on the docket. Last one.
I have it as, okay. So are you Julio Gomez Wagner, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you have count 1, burglary, unoccupied conveyance unarmed. We need to talk about bond. Count 2 is a capious felony for $1,000. So add count 2, which is the grand theft in the 3rd degree, and count 1 is burglary of a conveyance unoccupied. Court finds probable cause from the capious. The burglary, unoccupied conveyance, any objection to probable cause?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I need a PC.
Yes, Your Honor, give me 1 second, I'm sorry.
Give her,
Oh, do we have the extra copy? You printed two, right?
you didn't print one out?
Mr. Gomez has regional conflict counsel on this case, Judge.
All right,
do it by
so can someone call them up and tell them
DCC.
to come over?
I can. It doesn't say who specifically it is.
Or just call their office, tell them we need them here at magistrate, or reset it for 1 o'clock.
I will.
Have a seat, sir, you're represented by regional conflict. We're gonna find out if they're coming
Case
this
number is
morning or at 1
18
o'clock today. Thank you.
11665.
Okay, next one's gonna be Carol Bernard, page 5.
I just spoke to Mr. Bernard. He'd like to
Where is
resolve. He's in
He's here at Maine.
main jail. Judge.
Main jail, okay, thank you.
That's your attorney, Mr. Shea.
All right, Mr. Carroll, do you see your attorney, Mr. Shade?
Yes.
Have you had an
Yes, good
opportunity to
morning.
speak
My
to
name
him,
is
Mr. Romero, Mr.
I did,
Shade?
Judge. I just spoke to him, and he'd like to resolve the matters.
I'm in magistrate court,
All right,
Judge
let me just see
Malka,
this.
and we have one of your clients here. Judge Malka would like to know if someone's gonna come over for his
Don't worry,
hearing.
it's an MO.
Defendant's last
State,
name
what's
is
his prior
Gomez
history?
Wagner.
What's his name, Your Honor?
Bernard Carroll.
First name is Julio.
Here you go, Ms. Patricio.
Fancy sweet.
Sure.
Two 2018 petty theft, 2017 battery, 2016 battery, 2016 false ID to a Leo, 2013 burglary, conveyance unoccupied, petty theft.
Oh, thank you.
We don't have to deal with him. Yeah, don't worry about it, it's him all. I'll do the charges.
Just wanna see, he has a couple pending traffic infractions, let's see what they are. Alright, he has another violation of the right of way. From 10/15, 2018.
Bolton, Parker.
He has another one. Alright, court will do 3 days, Broward County Jail, credit for time served.
You understand that, sir?
Yes, I'll be leaving today.
Probably get out tomorrow evening.
Okay.
Does he wanna go to the CRC?
I don't believe he does, Judge. The CRC, which is the,
No.
no, yeah, that, what we spoke about earlier. No, Judge.
Alright, sir, you understand, you can't go back to this area.
Okay.
If you go back there, you'll be arrested.
Okay.
Alright?
Sorry.
No return to 3500 West Atlantic Boulevard,
Okay.
Pompano Beach.
Married, single, divorced, you live alone,
Says, sir, that you were walking around and standing in front of vehicles. There was someone that was panhandling and was nearly hit by a car. I mean, it really is a safety hazard. So, in any event, court finds probable cause. Raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Is your name Bernard Carroll, Carroll? You can put your hand down.
Yes.
Okay, how do you want to plead to the 2 municipal ordinance violations?
No contest.
Obstruction and no OSHA vest, no contest?
Yes.
And you have 2 other outstanding cases, you understand that?
Yes.
Okay,
Are those TIs, Judge?
yeah. The officer
Okay,
didn't
so-
arrest him, but because he
Gave
had
him
2
the-
other ones, that's why he arrested him on this one.
Okay.
So, all right, so court's gonna accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered, adjudication, 3 days, Broward County Jail, credit for time served, $78 in court costs, 6 months to pay. Partial payments accepted, no return to 3500 West Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence to the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. I have one more, but can I
Who is
take
that?
this?
Thank you,
What do
sir.
I do
Can I
with
take
these?
this phone call,
I don't
Judge?
know, sir. You'll have to, whatever your gain time is, I gave you credit for time served. Thank you.
Judge, can I take this phone call? I have a client being
Yes,
arrested
go
right
ahead.
now. Thank you.
Take your time. All right, Mr. Odom, you have anybody that's ready or no? That's fine, I'll keep going. Okay, Marquise Wright, we have plenty of cases to do, so.
Mr.
There you go.
Marquise is here at Main, Judge, and he is approaching.
All right, Mr. Marquise, you have an ad charge, burglary, unoccupied structure, unarmed. Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna order no return to the 7-Eleven, 2099 North State Road 7, Lauderhill, Florida. Court does find probable cause. What say you, state, with regard to bond?
State would be asking for a $1,000 bond.
Defense?
Judge, considering he's been in custody 42 days, and no one's gonna be able to afford to pose his bond, so at this time, Judge, no objection to that.
All right, no return to the 7-Eleven, $1,000 bond. This is on charge 18. Thank you, sir. Curtis Plummer.
This is the citrus one.
He's in Conti, Judge.
Thank you. All right, Conti. Good morning, Mr. Plummer. You have an ad charge, count 8, for grand theft of greater than 2,000 pieces of citrus. Court does find probable cause.
I have to take issue with that, Judge.
Okay, no problem.
I'm laughing because we were talking about it before court started.
Okay. From the liquor store?
It looks like 2 bottles of Patron.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm looking at the statute that he's charged with right now, and it doesn't mention anything about tequila. And there's nothing in the probable cause affidavit about him stealing any fruit.
Okay, hold on.
And there's no value amount in the probable cause affidavit either.
Is he in Florida State Prison currently?
Mr. Plummer, are you currently serving a prison sentence?
Yes, sir.
It's a petty theft, we said, right?
They should probably. I don't know how much the bottles cost.
Give me one moment, sir, okay? Dave, what say you with regard to the charge, probable cause, and what do you recommend?
It's a unique situation. I haven't had a situation where we have possibly a mislabeled statute. We believe there's sufficient probable cause for a petty theft, but we don't know the dollar amount of the bottles.
Maybe we could resolve it and get Mr. Plummer off to serve his sentence.
You know what? I'm gonna reset this for 1 PM today. You need to find out what's the situation with it. Thank you, sir. We'll bring
I
you
will
back
see you this
over.
afternoon, Mr. Plummer.
Ricky D.
All right,
Brewster.
thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Ricky D. Brewster,
Yes, ma'am.
good morning. Sir, you have count 12, grand theft between $300 and $5,000 bond. Count 13, fraud, utter false instrument, $1,000 bond. Count 14, fraud, use, possess ID of another person without consent, $1,000 bond. Court finds probable cause. Court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials MB, and no return to the Regions Bank where this incident allegedly occurred, sir.
My system.
Which is at 9100 Griffin Road in Cooper City. $1,000 bond on each count, 12, 13, 14. Court finds probable cause if I didn't say it previously. What say you, defense?
Mr. Brewster has a no bond hold on count 6, which is a DUI with property damage. I'd ask the court just to leave the bonds where they are.
Okay, $1,000 each count. Thank you.
Thank you.
Who do you have? Who do you want called?
Judge, my last one is Arthur O'Neill on page 8, but when I called over to Maine, they said they couldn't find him.
He's a
Okay.
medical was he
He's a medical loan.
Medical
Okay.
loan.
All right, so he has $525. He has a battery and a possession of alcohol, so I'll leave it in place. The battery is actually a 2011, so I'm sure that they have someone guarding him.
Okay.
I don't know what the state's position is on this, and possessing alcohol, $25 bond, so I don't know what you want to do.
We're just
with
gonna
it.
send that to the division anyways because of the battery, correct?
He's
Well,
got a
it's
status tomorrow.
2011 case, but he's not going.
What judge is it?
It's Division WB. I don't know offhand who that is.
WB, it's that little,
It's the Warner Brother
that little
Network.
frog guy.
I mean, I'm just saying, we're leaving him in the hospital. Why don't we just do an ROR or something?
That's fine with
I have no
me.
problem with ROR on my matter, Judge.
All right, I'm gonna ROR him on each count.
Your Honor, just given the age of the case, we would request some pretrial services.
I'm just gonna do further defense ROR. Thank you. Court finds probable cause for his arrest.
Good.
And I'm gonna appoint you, Mr. Shade.
Okay.
Mr. Shade, hold on one moment, I just wanna make sure you didn't miss anybody. No, you didn't, but this is a 10. Mr. Odom is loaded up, there's a 40A,
Which one is that, Judge?
Lindsay Kitchen.
Judge, she's a medical reset. She was in North Broward, but she's reset.
We're gonna hold someone in jail on $50 carrying open containers.
Not that I'd like that, Judge, but
All right, court's gonna ROR her.
I've dealt with Miss Kitchen before. I don't believe she's gonna appear.
All right, well,
That's the only issue.
maybe you can call over to North Broward or wherever she is.
Okay,
I'll appoint
reset.
you, Mr. Shade, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Odom, let me know when you're ready. All right, let's do Ann Shahy. I don't know what page it is, page 1.
Yes, Judge, I believe Miss, I'm going to be asking the court to appoint her. She is a medical reset. And that's page 1 of the docket. North Broward is where she's being housed. And I just asked the court to, she's got $100 capias on the alcohol
Yeah, I
consumption.
mean, we're gonna hold somebody in jail for an open container and solicitation.
I'm sorry, Judge. I apologize. It's not Miss Shahy who is medical
All right,
reset. Miss
where
Shahy I
is
spoke to.
Ann Shahy?
She's in North Broward.
North Broward.
Municipal.
And Shahy is a medical reset. Irvin is here.
Okay. So thank you, Deputy. I apologize.
You're welcome, not a
So-
problem.
On these two charges, I'm gonna ROR. I'll appoint your office.
Thank you, Judge. Shahy.
You might wanna call over there and tell them the importance of showing up.
Yeah, yes,
Thank
Judge.
you. Carlette Irwin,
Yeah, she's also at North Broward.
here, you can take these.
Okay.
All
George,
right, good morning, Miss Irvin.
Hello,
You have a capious misdemeanor, $100 bond. Beverage
Okay.
violation, what is this, an open container?
it is, Your Honor. She's asking the court to get involved.
All right, adjudication, time served,
okay,
$78 in court costs. How do you want to plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
no contest.
All right, adjudication, time served, $78, 6 months to pay. Partial
Okay.
payments accepted. Thank you, ma'am, good luck to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. And the
William
map?
Farley,
Yes, Judge.
I don't know what page he is.
He's on page 8 of the docket, and he's at the main facility.
Page 8, William Farley, main jail. Mr. Farley, good morning, sir. You have a municipal ordinance, capious misdemeanor, or capious municipal ordinance, I should say. $150 bond for an alcoholic beverage violation. Adjudication, time served, $78 in court costs. Is that what he wants to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
And if someone hasn't been adjudicated previously, let me know, okay?
I will do.
All right, is that what you want to do, sir?
Yes, Judge.
How do you want to plead?
No contest.
All right, adjudication, time served, $78 in court costs, 6 months to pay. Partial payments accepted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We'll appoint you in that case.
That's all I have.
Hold on, I have another one.
Oh,
Oh, wait, this is regional conflict. All right, I'm sorry about that. I thought that was an MO. All right, if we have one more, we'll give you a call as usual. All right. All right, let's take a break for 5 minutes. Yeah, Julio Gomez Wagner at Paul Ryan's, or is it Conti?
He's in Ryan, Judge.
No, Conti.
I think, oh, is it Conti? What did I write down Ryan for? Oh, sorry about that. I wrote down Ryan for some reason.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, you're represented by Regional Conflict Counsel. That means
Yes.
when the Public Defender's Office has a conflict. So they asked to reset you today at 1 p.m. Is that correct, Mr. Reedy?
Yes, Your Honor, they advised someone will be here at 1 o'clock for the gentleman.
All right, so we'll see you at 1 o'clock today, sir.
Ma'am, there would be a possibility of pretrial release on this?
I can't talk about the case at all. We'll talk to you at 1 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Bryant, please. Oh, this goes with Mr. Gomez.
Judge, I've been advised he's in court.
What courtroom?
6780.
He's in Judge Lynch, I believe. Yep. Okay, here you go. Timothy Bonafikic.
Bonifasic is here present, Judge at Maine.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Bonifasic, you have count 5, dealing in stolen property, $3,500 bond. Count 6 is false owner info, pawned items, $300 or more, $3,500 bond. Court does find probable cause.
Married, single, widow, divorced. You live alone, with a friend. You have children? Take medication.
Court's going to order no victim contact with the alleged victim with the initials PL. What say you, defense?
Judge, Mr. Bonifasic is being held no bond on other matters.
Okay.
I believe he's going to court tomorrow to try and see if he can get that no bond hold lifted. If he does, he would like to be able to post a monetary bond. He's not going to be able to afford $7,000. We're going to be asking for a bond reduction on count 5 to $1,000 and count 6 to $500. He works for a plumbing company. He's been there for about 10 years. He's been here his whole entire life. So that is the basis of the bond reduction, Judge. And he is a single father, is what he just finished advising me, Judge.
State, what's your position? I'll do 2,500 on 5, 1,000 on 6. Thank you, sir. No victim contact. David Chandler.
He's here, President Maine. Come on up, sir.
Mr. Chandler, you have petty theft, second degree, third subsequent offense, 750. Count 4, false owner info for pawn items less than $300, $1,000 bond, and count 5 is dealing in stolen property, $3,500. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials SJA and KJK. All right, court does find probable cause, no victim contact with SJA and KJK. What say you, defense?
Judge, Mr. Chandler is going to be requesting for the court to release him on 3, 4, and 5 on pretrial release. He's been in custody, I believe, about 5 days. He has, I believe, pretrial plus monetary bond. He works for a roofing company. He lives here locally. He lives in Dania Beach with his wife. His wife is on disability. So finances are really limited. So that's why we're gonna be asking on these nonviolent offenses to have the court release them on pretrial release.
State, what's your position and what's his priors?
Yes, Judge, give me 1 second to pull up the files.
He has $1,000 bond on, burglary unoccupied structure, that's pending. Grand theft, he got an ROR. So he has $1,000 bond, did he pay that?
No, not yet, no. He's trying to see whatever he can do for somebody to come up with that monetary amount, but he's 100% sure he won't be able to afford what's currently before the court. So that's why we're asking for pretrial release.
Appears that they took that to the presiding judge, an 18 case.
Which one, the 18-10627?
No, 18-2734.
Give it to me, 18.
2734.
CF,
MM40A.
what is
And
that?
apparently he was placed on pretrial on that case and he failed to comply with BARC.
He's supposed to be in the SAP program at the jail, November 5th.
So the judge there did a warrant.
Anything further?
Not it,
All right, I'm leaving the bonds in place, thank you. Richard Romaine.
Mr. Romaine is approaching, Judge. Come on up, sir.
Okay, Mr. Romaine, you have an ad charge, retail theft, $300+.
What we're doing.
Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna order no return to the Lowe's located at 1001 West Oakland Park Boulevard in Oakland Park, sir. If you go back there, you will be arrested. Court finds probable cause. Let's see what this is. Bonded out, it appears on, he has another retail theft, $1,000. Surety bond is pending, $1,000. He has another grand theft. Surety bond is pending. Bond out, he bonded out on another 1,000, and then we have this one for 1,000. So he apparently has a lot of different cases going on.
This is an ad charge, Judge. He's been in for 3 days. My understanding is he contacted his wife. She's a caretaker. She managed to scrape all of their funds and managed to post his monetary bond. He's 64 years old. He's a handyman by trade. He's self-employed. My understanding before these offenses, from what he's advising me, the last time he had contact with the system was approximately 11 years ago. At this time in speaking, Mr. Romaine, he advised me his wife doesn't have any more money to post. I'm going to ask the court to consider releasing him on pretrial release on this count 5, Judge. And if you look at today's date, according to this docket, today's his birthday, Judge. So I'm going to be asking
Well,
for
happy
Mr.
birthday, sir. All right, so state, what does he have pending? How many, what are the dates of those offenses?
Your Honor, what's supposed to be a retail theft of more than $300.
What's the date on that? Do you have it? Because this is November 2nd. I just want to know if he was out on release and committed a new offense.
My understanding is he was magistrated yesterday on all those cases, Judge. That's my understanding, but I can be wrong.
Appear to be an ad charge onto what was yesterday.
All right. How does your client support himself? What does he do?
Handyman, Judge, self-employed, he, whatever he can do, and his wife is a caretaker, and that she's the one that managed to scrape up the 10% go to a bond and judge.
All right, no return to Lowe's. What's the date of the other incident? Hi. No problem, we'll find it. Just get the paperwork from Mr., what page? Here it is, Peter. Okay, we'll call it right after this one. Or let me know when you're ready. Okay. Go ahead, State. I know, but what's the offense date? Do you have the probable cause affidavit when he was previous for yesterday's magistrate? Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna leave the bond in place. No return to Lowe's. He has too many cases pending. This is his fifth charge. That's what I'm doing. Thank you very much. Peter Solis. Page 17.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jonathan Friedman. Hi, Mr. Solis.
Nice to see you, Mr. Friedman.
Judge, I'm here on Peter Solis's behalf, and just so I know there's an outstanding capias. I'm trying to get him on the docket before Judge Shear for tomorrow morning, Peter, just so
Okay.
you know that. And this case is a very old case. It's over 20 years old. There's an escape charge, and there was an order that was entered right prior to his alleged escape, ordering him to be deported back to Venezuela, and that's where he's been for the last 20 years. So I don't know if the court's inclined to maybe let him out and come to court tomorrow morning if I can get it on the docket, but the plea offer up there is going to be a withholding credit for the time that he's been in custody. He's been in custody since October 23rd when he came back into the country through Houston at the
All right.
airport.
Let me ask you this. It says not for magistrate on the first three and not on the fourth, Sheila. All right, sir, I have 4 capias felonies, possession of unlawful issued driver's license, 978421 CF10A. Then he has the same charge again, possession of unlawful issued driver's license ID. It's a 97 case, 978421 CF10A, same case number. And then we have count 3, possession of unlawful issued driver's license, 97842, looks like a 1 CF10A. And then we have count 4, an escape, 9821658 CF10A.
Basically, what had happened, we couldn't, because the case was so old, we couldn't make out at the bottom of the cases where it says no-show.
Okay.
Because if it's a no-show VOP, it should have been coded in.
Looks like change a plea or something, but,
So we wasn't sure, was that a
okay,
VOP or what did that stand for?
a change of plea.
Okay. And then, we realized that a motion was done, as he said, to Judge Shear to hear this. However, he is being.
When was that signed?
It's today.
I think that may be an error, and I'll talk to Mr. Solis about that, but he's been out of the country for, I think, over 20 years and he had permission to return to the United States.
But here's the thing.
Yeah,
So it says, and not for magistrate, so technically they're not even for a magistrate, right? It has he's going before Judge Coleman tomorrow at 8:30.
for what? What kind of hearing is that?
I guess maybe they didn't know. Where are these cases showing up? What division?
I think it's Judge Shear's division.
Why do we have Judge Coleman on this? 1 for the KPS, 1 no bond hold. 1 is for Judge Imparato, and we know, and it says Judge Imparato. Why does it say Judge Shear? Judge Coleman. Did you pull up these cases yet?
No, I mean, I thought they were all Judge Shear.
Madam Clerk, can you tell me why Judge Coleman's down here for tomorrow and Judge Shear? It does say Judge Coleman.
It's Bailey.
Mr. Freeman, I'm looking it up in the computer, it is Judge Coleman. The 97, the possession of unlawful ID, those are Judge Coleman's.
That's the escape charge.
Let me just pull up this other
Sure.
one, probably Judge,
Okay.
but there's another one, 97008421, I think it is. That's Judge Coleman as well. So the first three are Judge Coleman. And then the count 4 is the escape. It says what? Well, that's because Judge Coleman's probably away.
But the-
And Judge Bailey's covering it for him, or he's out of the office or has a trial, whatever it is.
Would the court be inclined just to set bonds on those 3 driver license offenses and leave the no bond on the escape? I'm trying to get him in the court tomorrow morning because I do have a negotiated resolution for that escape charge, Judge.
You know what? These really are not for magistrate. I don't even know why he's here.
Well,
So, and that one is, it is Judge Shear for the last one. So, are they all 3 not for magistrate?
Yes.
Then I'm not finding probable cause for this. He's gonna be held on these, no bond. He's really gotta go before his division judge.
I just asked the clerk to make sure, do you have the files, the actual physical files, because they're older files? Oh, I'm sorry. If the clerk can just make sure that Judge Shear has at least the case that. So,
Well, wait a second. These are old files. They're not scanned. So someone, you need to
right.
do an order. I'll direct the clerk to get the files.
Yeah, because if I have this on tomorrow's docket and we plan on resolving it for him to be released, I'd hate to have him held up because there's no file in the courtroom.
Do you have a copy of the paperwork?
No.
Do you have a copy you can give to him, Mr. Reedy, please? The paperwork.
All I have is the short arrest warrant.
All right, why don't you give him that? Counsel, if you can approach.
Sure.
All right, if you could contact, let's do an order. Here, I'll give you this. That just tells you the courts. B is Coleman. Shear is the second one. She's FJ. If you want to do an order up, get a blank order from the public defender. I'll do an order directing but put the case number to direct the clerk to bring the original file, if they can. The only other thing I could suggest talk to your client, counselor, and just go over there to the phone, okay? but you better do it now before they send him back. Okay, sir, your attorney is gonna be calling you. Terrence Turpin, please. Main jail.
Go, Jermaine.
All right, Mr. Turpin, you have possession of alprazolam, Xanax, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less, no bond required. Count 3 is possess and/or use drug paraphernalia, no bond required. You do have counts 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I don't think there's a second page here. Maybe there is. Yes, there is. 9, 10, and 11 are warrants for violation of pretrial felonies. They're not for magistrate. You actually have bonds for $2,000 on those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So $16,000 on the violation of pretrials. Court does find probable cause for all charges. Possession of alprazolam is $1,000. So court will set bond at $1 on that and leave the rest of the bonds in place. You go tomorrow before your division judge, Judge Martin Fine. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. James Rice, please.
Mr. Rice, come on up, please.
And next one after that is going to be Darrell Dumas and Anthony Richardson. Okay, Mr. Rice, you have burglary, unoccupied structure, unarmed, sir. Count 2 is resisting an officer, obstructing without violence. No bond required. Court is going to order no return to AMLI, A-M-L-I, Crossroads Construction Site, located at 888 East Las Olas Boulevard and at 8021 Peters Road in Plantation, Florida. Court does find probable cause. What say you, State?
I can't hear the state judge.
Turn the mic back on.
Sorry, Judge. For count 1 would be a $2,000 bond, and for count 2, a $100 bond.
Okay.
Judge, we're going to be asking for Mr. Rice to be released on pretrial release. First, he's looking forward to having his day in court disputing these allegations. He's 24 years old. He lives in Lauderhill. He's been renting an apartment there. His share is about $300 per month with a roommate. He's a registered voter. So we're going to be asking the court to consider releasing him on pretrial release. He is working. He works at BurgerFi. He's been there years, making $9.25 an hour. He's actually scheduled to work tonight. He doesn't want to lose that job, Judge. So that's why he's asking for pretrial release.
State, what's his prior history like, please?
Your Honor, the only thing I'm seeing is a 2016 battery and a 2015 no valid driver's license.
All right, the court does note the weight of the evidence. It does say that he was captured on closed surveillance camera system.
It also doesn't appear as though he was actually, it's kind of vague as to whether or not he was there with the intent to steal
He
anything.
says he had the top of his hoodie on.
Yes, but when asked what he was doing there, he said no reason, he was just curious. And he's not actually seen taking anything.
That's why I think it's going to be a trespass at the end of the day, Judge.
Okay, I'm gonna do standard pretrial supervision, but I'm gonna do it on counts 1 and 2. No bond required on either count. I want him to report within 24 hours.
Appreciate it.
I want him calling in 4 days a week, reporting once a month. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Darrell Dumas.
Mr. Dumas, come on up, please.
After Mr. Dumas is Anthony Richardson, and then we have Ahmad Nicholson. Okay, Mr. Dumas, you have grand theft between $300 and $5,000, $1,000 bond, count 2. No warrants, you violated your pretrial. They're actually not for magistrate. You have no bond holds. Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna order no return, sir, to the CVS located at 2036 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna leave your bond at $1,000. You're out on pretrial, you're violating it, and you're committing allegedly other crimes. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Next one is Anthony Richardson.
Mr. Richardson, come on up, please.
After Mr. Richardson is Ahmad Jamil Nicholson, and then Matthew Smith. All right, Mr. Richardson, you have a grand theft between $300 and $5,000, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. Court's also gonna order no return to, I believe it's a CVS, 2036 East Atlantic Boulevard. And that's in Pompano Beach, Florida. Says it was to a robbery and reclassified as a theft. Says he was the driver of the vehicle and did not enter the store.
And was not identified
Were identified.
by who?
Obviously by the store personnel.
It doesn't say that, Judge. As the witness was unable to identify Mr. Richardson.
Court's gonna find probable cause for the grand theft between $300 and $5,000. What's his prior history?
2009 possession of cocaine, drug paraphernalia. 1998 trespass.
Anything, his last thing was 98?
2009.
2009, all right. So I'll put him on standard pretrial supervision. He's gonna have to do the same as his co-defendant. Sir, when I say no return to CVS, that includes the parking lot and everything. And in fact, I want you to maintain 1,000 feet from that CVS. You go back there, you'll be arrested. Report within 24 hours to pretrial services. Call in 4 times a week. Report once a month.
Yes, Sean.
Okay? Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Ahmad Nicholson.
Mr. Nicholson, come on up, please.
Mr. Nicholson, you have a retail theft, $300 or more, first offense. Court finds probable cause. Court's gonna order no return, sir, to the CVS located at 2036 East Atlantic Boulevard, Pompano Beach, Florida. What's his priors and any pending?
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry, 1 second.
Take your time, we're not in a rush.
I actually don't see any priors, Your Honor.
There's no Broward priors, but he had a prior out of 2015 out of Fort Pierce. Looks like a DUI. A burglary. 2006 out of Tallahassee, a burglary dwelling with the grand theft. 2005, a DUI. He might be on let me just say, he might be on,
Probation?
yes. No? Well, I see her.
Go to Department of Corrections website, see if it's felony probation.
It might be federal probation, Your Honor.
Federal?
Is it? Let me just, says there's a warrant out.
There is?
There's no extradition, but it's a wanted person. Just let me double check. Same name.
Okay, what say you, defense?
Judge, as you heard from the state, he's had no recent priors. He's 35
Sounds like he has
years
a
old.
warrant out for his arrest.
No, he's saying he doesn't, Judge. He has a good job. He works for a company called Pavers Company. He's been there now for about 3 months. He lives in Pompano Beach. He pays about $160 per week. He advised me, nobody that can post his monetary bond. Judge, we're gonna be asking the court to consider releasing him on pretrial release on this nonviolent offense.
Yeah, there's a warrant. It's with his social, with his date of birth, with his identification, everything.
All right, I'm gonna have him maintain 1,000 feet from the CVS, and I'm gonna leave his bond at $1,000 based on the fact that he has an open outstanding warrant. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. We need you to do one for
Exactly.
each case, I hate to tell you.
It's a warrant.
There is? All right, who is this before the escape? So which one do you want me to do?
Called the central line.
We have another blank order if you want to do one. It's no big deal.
That's weird. I mean, that's what these.
Yeah, that's the central.
All right, the escape is before Judge Shear? You might want to call Judge Shear's office and ask him to order the file that I did in order. Okay? You can give that to the clerk. You might want to do one for Judge Coleman as well. They'll give you a blank order. Thank you. Matthew Smith.
Here at Maine.
Okay, Mr. Smith, good morning, sir. You have burglary, unoccupied conveyance unarmed. Counts 1, 2, 3, and 4. Counts 5 and 6 are petty theft, first degree between $100 and $300. Bond set at $100 on count 5 and 6. 7 is resisting an officer obstructing without violence. $100 bond. Count 8 is a no bond hold before Judge Bailey. Counts 1, 2, and 3, we're going to have to talk about bond. Court is going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victims in the case, with the initials DM, KF, CM, AD, looking at his sheet, it says he has 2017. He was sentenced 10/31/2018 to 12 months community supervision for burglaries and an attempted.
Count 8, isn't it?
Says Matthew stated that he attempted to enter at least 50 vehicles, some of which he successfully entered. Court finds probable cause. What say you, State?
Yes, Your Honor, for charge number 1, the state would ask for a $2,000 bond. For charge 2, a $2,000 bond, and for charge 3, a $2,000 bond.
So 1, 2, and 3, you want 2,000. What about count 4?
I'm sorry, count forward $2,000 as well,
So
Judge.
2,000 on 1, 2, 3, and 4 each.
Correct.
Okay?
Judge, considering he's not working, he's 19 years old, he's being held no bond. These are third-degree felonies. I'm gonna be asking for a $1,000 bond on counts 1 through 4.
Okay, court has a concern for the community with all the cases, or, excuse me, not all the cases, I was looking at this. All the alleged attempts that the defendant allegedly stated to the police officer. Therefore, I'm gonna set 2,000 on 1, 2,000 on 2, 2,000 on 3, 2,000 on 4, 5, 6, and 7. ROR or $1?
$1.
$1 on 5, 6, and 7. Additionally, court is gonna do a GPS level 2. And require him to maintain 1,000 feet from 6120, 6230, and these are all on Wiles Road. Just have him maintain 1,000 feet from those addresses, minimum. And that's in Coral Springs. Okay, thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Who's this one, 845, Judge Coleman? Okay, so you want me to write Judge Sheeran here? Oh, you did? You put it in, okay, perfect. When's Judge Coleman? At 8:45? All right, so see where he goes first, and then they just send him over to the other one. Thank you, good luck. You're welcome. Christopher Snyder, please. North Broward. Good luck to you. Can I have that back? I'm sorry, I need to, might as well just copy the information. No, the one for his co-defendant, yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I shouldn't have given it to you so fast. Okay, so Mr. Schneider, good morning, sir. You have burglary, unoccupied conveyance, unarmed. Counts 1, 2, 3, and 4, we need to talk about bond. Count 5 is resisting an officer, obstructing without violence, $100 bond. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, I must have missed Mr. Snyder. I didn't realize he was in North Broward. I'm gonna need a moment to speak with him very
Sure,
quickly.
no
If we
problem.
could just put him on recall for 1 second.
Sure. Can you get his prior history ready, including juveniles?
Yes, Your Honor, we got it. Just a trespass and a battery.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go off the record for a moment. Christopher Schneider.
Wait, what happened to Janet?
Did you have enough time to talk to him?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Schneider. So, I'm sorry, State, did you tell me the bond you wanted or any special conditions?
No, Your Honor, we did not go
I
over
don't remember,
bond.
to be honest with you. You didn't?
No, Your Honor, I did not go over bond yet.
Okay. Same as his co-defendant?
Your Honor, the same as his co-defendant.
Okay. All right, what's his prior history, State?
Your Honor, when we were looking up his juvenile record, all we saw was a trespass and a battery.
Okay.
Yes, I'd also submit to the court that Mr. Schneider is less culpable in this incident than his co-defendant. Mr. Snyder's statement to the police indicated he was with Matthew but did not actually break in any cars himself. He is looking forward to his day in court. It's unclear from his statement or the statements of anyone else how many cars Mr. Snyder may have watched Matthew break into. We don't know if it's 4 or 1 or 2. So I think there's an argument to be made that probable cause does not exist to support counts 2, 3, and 4. That being said, Mr. Snyder has been living here for the last 4 years. He does not have an extensive criminal history, as the court just heard. He lives with his mother, father, and sister. He is currently in school studying to be an auto mechanic. I have been in touch with his girlfriend, who is going to call his parents to see if they can come up with some money to bond Mr. Snyder out. Mr. Snyder indicated to me he believes that they can come up with some money, but he doesn't think it's going to be very much. I'd ask the court to consider, in light of his lack of prior record and ties to the community, pretrial release.
The state would be amenable to a reduced bond in exchange for GPS, potentially level 2.
No victim contact, direct or indirect, with DM, KK, CM, AD. Could have did this with the other gentleman, but I'm gonna order no co-defendant contact. And that is with
Matthew Smith.
Matthew Smith. We're looking for the first one. Okay, with Matthew Smith, do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
I am gonna fit you with a GPS. No return. I'm not gonna do the within 1,000 feet because you do live there, so he's allowed to reside. You reside at the 6160?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you're allowed to reside there, but I don't want you going anywhere near 6120 or 6230. Want to find out if that's in the same building, Mr. Reedy?
Do you have any reason to go into those areas of the complex?
Not unless it's passing by my house.
All right, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that, but I don't want him going to those apartments and having any contact with those victims. So this is what I'm gonna do. Count 1, I'll do $1,000 bond. Count 2, I'll do $1,000 bond. 3 and 4, I'll ROR, and 5, I'll ROR. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. You gotta pay the bonds first before you'll get fitted for a GPS. Okay, good luck to you. James Florinori,
North Broward.
North Broward. Mr. Florinori?
That's it right now.
That's fine. Good morning, Mr. Florinori. You have burglary with assault or battery. We need to talk about bond. Count 2 is battery, second or subsequent offense, $1,000 bond. This is burglary of a dwelling or battery. Just give me a moment. Hold on. I think this is a warrant. It's a capias, not in custody. Burglary of a dwelling battery, no bond hold for magistrate. And a felony battery prior conviction, $1,000. State, what's the police officer redacted? This is from November 23rd, 2017. And it even blacked out the addresses.
November 23rd, right?
Yes.
I'm not seeing
What
that
do
on
you-
the receipt.
Huh?
I need the
I
alleged
printed out.
victim's initials and I need the address.
I have a DB.
Ah, yeah, yeah. One moment.
I have it right here.
Oh, you have it?
Address is 2066.
Hold on, 66,
Northwest 43rd Terrace,
I'm sorry, 43rd Terrace, thank you.
number 6,
Okay,
Lauderhill, 33313.
and the victim's initials?
DB.
D as in Delta, B as in Bravo. Okay.
Same thing. What's the other count? Burback and what else?
Domestic battery, strangulation.
That's
This is picture behind
Okay,
that.
what say you, State, with regard to bond?
The state would be asking for no bond on the burglary with assault or battery.
So you're asking for a finding of proof evident presumption grade on count 1,
Yes, Your Honor.
all right? Defense?
We would be objecting to the court making a finding of proof evident presumption great at this stage of the proceedings based solely on a police report, which I have reviewed.
Okay,
Proof evident presumption great is the highest standard that we have in the criminal justice system. The state has called no witnesses, introduced no evidence. All they're doing is relying on a probable cause affidavit that is designed to establish probable cause, certainly not designed to establish proof evident presumption great. So we would ask that the court not find proof evident presumption great and set bond for Mr. Flonnery. In the alternative, if the court, over our objection, does find proof evident presumption great, would ask the court to use its discretion in setting bond in this case.
all right, Mr. Floundry.
Yes,
I
Your Honor.
have reviewed the probable cause affidavit filed in your case, and obviously probable cause has been found, there's a capias issued. And I find probable cause and I adopt the prior judge's finding of probable cause. I further find the proof of guilt to be evident or the presumption great. Therefore, on the burglar with assault or battery, you are gonna be held no bond. For further order of the court, this order serves without prejudice for you to file a motion to set bond with your assigned division judge and request a hearing under State v. Arthur. Court does have a concern for the nature and probability of the danger on count 1 and count 2, which is the battery second or subsequent offense that the defendant poses to the alleged victim in this case and the community. Court notes the statements that defendant fled the scene, told the victim, "I'm gonna kill you," and then uses some other kind words. In any event, court's gonna order no return to 2066 Northwest 43rd Terrace, Lauderhill, and maintain 1,000 feet minimum. No victim contact, direct or indirect, with DB, and maintain 1,000 feet minimum. GPS level 2, obviously, count 2 only. Court is gonna do no bond on count 1, 5,000 on count 2.
Yes, Your Honor.
There's no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Next one is Sangri Prasad.
Your main judge, he has private counsel, Mr. Gary Cole.
Anybody reach out to Mr. Cole?
I spoke with Mr. Cole, Your Honor. He will not be joining us. He is aware that Mr. Prasad has a scheduled hearing
Judge, actually, Mr. Prasad just left to the restroom. I thought he was.
All right, let's recall it, but what happened? He's not representing him today?
No, he is representing him, but he's not gonna be here today. He's filed
So
a
you're
motion to
gonna-
set bond, and he's gonna be going to court tomorrow
All
morning,
right, so
so.
are you gonna represent him for purposes of first appearance, Mr. Reedy?
Yes, Judge, would ask the bonds to be left the same.
All right, so Mr. Prasad, you have violation of probation, no bond, grand theft between 20 and 100,000, $5,000 bond. Count 3 is an unlicensed contractor, $100 bond. Let me just refresh my memory with this. Court finds probable cause. Court notes his prior history includes 2004 grand theft, and that grand theft in 2004 was between 20 and 100,000. He was put on community supervision for 15 years in 2008. Is he still on probation? Or that's why he has the he does have the no bond holds, count 1. So court finds probable cause. What say you, state?
State would ask for the current bonds to be held in place, as well as no victim contact, which I'm trying to see if I can get the initials right now for you, Judge. The victim's initials would be RL. And the address would be 7721 Belmonte. I'll spell that out for you. BELMONTE Boulevard, Margate, Florida, 33063.
You said Mr. Cole stated he filed a motion to reduce bond.
That is correct, Your Honor, and he will see Mr. Prasad tomorrow morning in front of Judge Bailey.
All right, court is gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials RL. Court is also going to order no return to 7721 Belmont Boulevard, Margate, Florida. Court also is gonna order the additional condition of a GPS level 2. Court's gonna order no bond on 1, 5,000 on 2, and on count 3, I'll do an ROR. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Shishone Johnson, please. Mr. Johnson, good morning, sir. You have a grand theft auto. $1,000 bond. Count 2 is resisting an officer without violence. No bond required. You do have a violation of probation, sir. You have a no bond hold. Court is going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials BF. Court finds probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, my understanding the probation case is out of Palm Beach, no bond hold. So I'd ask the court to consider an ROR on count 1 so that Palm Beach can pick him up.
I'm going to leave the bond at 1,000. Thank you. Good luck to you. Stephen Addis.
Sure, Addis, come on up, please.
Good morning, Mr. Addis. Do we have a driving record on him? Mr. Addis has a driving while license is suspended, third or subsequent offense, $750 bond. Count 2 is not for magistrate. It's a traffic infraction, disobey, avoid or avoid a traffic device. Doesn't matter. We're still here in magistrate. Court does find probable cause, and he did bond, but can I still see his driving record? ADDIS. Do you have it? All right. Thank you. Good luck to you, sir. Joseph Bass.
Mr. Bass, Joseph Bass.
Hello, how are you?
Come up, sir.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Bass. You have grand theft between, there's my voice again, it's way too loud. What is going on? Hold on, we're gonna go off. I'm on the phone. They said that you're raising my voice too loud. I can hear it on the TV. You need to lower it.
I'm not raising anything, Judge.
He said he's not raising anything.
I've never touched the volume
All right,
control on that
not
phone
you.
ever.
Hector, don't take it personally.
You
I'm
said you.
talking, all right, Hector. Come on, I mean someone at the jail. Who's raising the volume?
I don't know. I wasn't.
Pardon?
No one's touching the TV. We never touch it.
They said they never touched it, Craig.
For you.
Thank you. Okay, are you Joseph Bass, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You have a grand theft between $300 and $5,000, $1,000 bond on count 1 and 2. Court does find probable cause, total bond is $2,000. You have no return to the target located at 9600 Westview Drive, Coral Springs, Florida, 33076. What say you, defense?
Judge, unfortunately, Mr. Bass informed me he go to post the bond. He's looking for work. He lives with his mother. She is on Social Security. He's been there with her for about 12 years, and nobody's going to be able to afford to post this monetary bond. He's asking me to ask the court if you would consider releasing him on pretrial release.
What's his priors?
2018 at Boca, he has a possession of controlled substance, possession of cocaine. 2007 DWLS, 2003 at a Delray possession, grand theft of a dwelling. 2002 theft. 2002
Weapons of violence.
weapon, what is it?
Improper exhibition of a weapon.
Can I have back the two, and I need the states on Sanjeev Prasad, please?
Give that to the deputy.
Just cross it out a little bit more.
Two grand thefts?
Yeah, I'm gonna put the no return. Here, just give it to me, I'll show you. Give me one moment, Hector, please.
No problem, Judge.
Thank you. Apparently, this happened on October 22nd. And then on November 6th, he was in a Target. That's how I guess this came to fruition. Court's going to order, sir, no return to the Target. Court will leave the $1,000 bond in place on count 1, ROR on count 2. Thank you. Javante Blanshaw.
No problem.
Morning, Ms. Blanshaw. You have a touch or strike, Mr. Blanshaw, I'm sorry. You have a touch or strike battery, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is a probation violation or community control. You are going before your division judge, Judge Edward Merrigan, tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, sir, with the alleged victim with the initials KYM. Court's also going to order, even though you're not allowed to, no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. Pardon, sir? I didn't hear you.
Don't say anything, sir.
What say you, Mr. Reedy?
Mr. Blanshaw has to go in front of Judge Merrigan tomorrow morning, Your Honor, so there's not much we can do as far as the violation of probation. I'd ask the court for a $100 bond on count 1.
All right, I'm gonna leave a $1,000 bond on count 1. Court does find probable cause. No victim contact, direct or indirect, KYM. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Shane Dukes.
Mr. Dukes is here present, man.
Good morning, Mr. Dukes. You have possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond. Court finds probable cause. State, what's his priors?
Yes, Your Honor, 1 second. I apologize.
Is this a residue case, Mr. Reedy?
Yes, it is, Your Honor. Most likely to be filed as a misdemeanor possession of drug paraphernalia.
Let's just see what his priors are. Anything in the recent past?
Yes, Your Honor, he has a case from July 21st of this year for possession of cocaine.
All right, this is what I'll do. I'll put him on standard pretrial, not require a bond. He has to report within 24 hours of his release.
Judge, the only thing, Your Honor, that the state's concern is in 87, which I understand is a little while ago, he was found guilty of murder in the 3rd degree, which would create a little bit of concern to safety.
All right, I'm still gonna leave him on pretrial, call in twice a week, report 1 time a month.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Good luck, sir.
Elaine Zalea.
Mr.
Mr.
Lance
Zalea.
Zelaya is medical loan judge.
Put that in the reset section.
All right, so tomorrow we'll find probable cause. He probably won't be here. Paul Lupian.
He's here present in Maine.
Hello, Mr. Lupian. You have grand theft between $300 and $5,000. $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna order no return, sir, to the Kmart located at 3800 Oakland Boulevard, Hollywood, Florida.
Any priors?
Go back there, sir. You'll be arrested. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Thank you very much. What say you, defense?
Judge, unfortunately, he's homeless right now. He's been homeless for about 1 week. He was laid off from his landscaping job. So right now he's having a tough time just dealing with the fact that he's homeless. He's 38 years old, been in here his whole entire life. My understanding is he had prior contact with the system, but I believe it's been a number of years. We're gonna ask the court to consider releasing him, ROR or on pretrial release. But regardless, we're also gonna be asking the court to enter an order allowing him to, be sent to the centralized receiving center so they can assist him with finding housing.
No problem. Mr. Reedy, do an order? All right, what say you, State? What's his priors?
Your Honor, the only prior that I'm seeing is from a 2001. It's an ag bat as well as a shooting, throwing, deadly missile.
2001?
2001, yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll give him the benefit of a doubt, ROR, no return to Kmart. I'll go there tonight at 9 PM. Thank you, sir, look for your court date.
Thank you. You'll be taking them
Luke
tonight, okay?
Durham, tell him,
You up,
Mr.
okay?
Romero,
Yes, sir. Yes,
tell him
ma'am.
how to go to the public library and how he can look up his court date or call your
Sir,
office.
sir. Okay, you're gonna have to go to the public library and get your notice that way to find out when's your future court date, because you don't wanna miss court, because then you'll be right back.
He goes to the public library to look up on the internet.
Yeah, you go to the clerk of court's website on the internet, because it's free, and you can look up your court date that way. Or you sign it with the public defender, give us a call and we'll tell you when your court date is, all right?
Hey, I'm hoping that we.
All right, Mr. Durham, you have grand theft, between $300 and $5,000. $1,000 bond, count 2 is utter false instrument fraud, $1,000 bond. Court's gonna order no contact with the alleged victim with the initials JG. And also with Devos Painting and waterproofing. Court does find probable cause. What's his prior history state?
He's in pretrial.
Your Honor, it looks like he has a 2018 possession of cocaine that's still pending, as well as a 2017 possession of cocaine and possession of alprazolam that are also pending as well.
But he's on pretrial. He's on pretrial.
Okay, the defendant's already on pretrial release. I'm inclined to leave $1,000 bond in place. I can ROR him on the other one.
That'd be fine, Judge.
Okay, thank you. You can make a copy for me, Ms. Patrice. This is yours as well. All right. Craig Fainer, please.
North Broward, I believe.
Your Honor, he's a medical reset.
Dana.
All right, we'll deal with him tomorrow. Marcus Lewis.
Mr. Lewis is here at Maine. Come on, officer.
Good morning, Mr. Lewis. You have possession of weapon or an ammo by a convicted Florida felon. Need to talk about bond. Count 2 is possession of THC. $1,000 bond. Count 3 is possession of alprazolam Xanax. $1,000 bond. Count 4 is trafficking in heroin between 28 and 330 kilos. $500,000 bond. Counts 5, 6, 7, and 8 are out-of-county holds. 5 and 6 is no bond. Count 8, $4,500 bond. Put your mic off. State. Count 8 is out-of-county hold, no bond. Count 9 is an out-of-county hold felony. These are all not for magistrates. $7,500 bond. 10 is the same thing. All of the rest are actually all out-of-county holds felony. $4,500 bond. Count 11 is no bond hold. Count 12 is $7,500. 13 is $4,500. 14, 15 is no bond holds. 16 is $4,500. 17 is no bond. 18 is 20,000. 19 is 45. Same for 20. 21 is no bond. 22 is 7,500. 23, 4,500. 24 is 4,500. Count 24 is, 25 is 4,500. 26 is no bond. 27 is 7,500, and 28 is 4,500. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense? Any special conditions?
Count 1 needs to be set bond. Count 1 needs to be a bond.
Judge, I do understand he has a number of no bond holds out of county, I believe from Palm Beach. The only thing I'm gonna be asking the court to take into consideration on count 4, the $500,000 bond. And speaking with Mr. Lewis, he's 34 years old, been here his whole entire life in the state of Florida. Right now, he works at a mobile detail, he makes about $500 a week. He lives in Coconut Creek with his girlfriend, she's a hairstylist. Their monthly rent on their, apartment is $1,500 per month. I asked the court to consider reducing the bond from $500,000 to $100,000 on count 4, setting a $5,000 bond on count 1.
Give him the sheer number of the bond is for. Like that.
Like we are.
All right, so this is between 28 and 30 grams. I was just looking at this. He had 23 grams in his front pocket, but then he had another 121 grams. Okay. Client have a passport?
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever applied for one?
What, passport?
Yeah.
No.
And do you have a United States passport card?
I don't have a passport at all.
All right, raise your right
But
hand,
she
sir.
said-
Do you
oh,
swear and or
raise
affirm
your
to
right
tell
hand.
the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, put your hand down. Is your name Marcus Terrell Lewis, Lewis?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you may inquire, Mr. Romero.
Mr. Lewis, are you a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever applied for a United States passport?
No, sir.
Have you ever applied for a United States passport card?
No, no, sir.
Okay. Do you have any other passports from any other country?
No, no, sir.
No further questions, Judge.
You asked him if he never applied. How do I know someone else didn't apply? I just want to make sure that a U.S. passport or
Never.
passport
any-
card.
Never, never.
All right, ask the full question, please.
To your knowledge, has anyone ever applied on your behalf to obtain any sort of United States passport card, or any passport from any other country?
No, sir.
And you never did yourself, correct?
No, ma'am.
Comes right out. You can fill out the application.
Okay, based on the nature and circumstances of the offenses charged, the weight of the evidence against the defendant, and the defendant's past and present conduct, including his pending cases for out-of-county hold, which include numerous cases for trafficking heroin, or charges for drug charges, amongst others, trafficking heroin, unlawful possession of property, trafficking, sale, manufacture, controlled substance, sale of heroin, and the list just goes on and on and on. Court is going to do the bond on count 1 at $10,000 Count 2, $1,000. Count 3, $1,000 on the trafficking in heroin between 28 and less 30 kilos, $500,000. The out-of-county holds, I'm gonna leave in place. They're actually not for magistrate. The additional condition, sir, is a GPS level 2. I'm gonna do a curfew from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. I am gonna require a Nebbia hearing. No possession of any passport card, and I am gonna require full collateralization, which we need a separate order state. Thank you, sir. Good
Also,
luck to
Judge,
you.
if
Oh, wait,
I
okay.
understand he's a convicted felon, but we would just ask to reinforce the no guns, no ammunition, no weapons.
No possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. Thank you, state.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, what was the monetary bond on count 4?
500,000. You didn't hear me? Okay.
No, I didn't.
Alton Parker.
Mr. Parker, come on up. Stay right there if you have any other questions for me, okay, sir?
Mr. Parker, you have possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond, count 2, loitering or prowling. No bond required. $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. What say you?
Judge, we're going to be asking the court to consider releasing him ROR or in the alternative pretrial release. I'll see if the state has an objection.
Your Honor, the state would ask if you're not going to keep the bond to at least do pretrial services.
Sorry, what's his prior history?
Judge, it looks like.
Client live.
Judge, he lives in Miami with his parents. He's been basically living there his whole entire life. He's 49 years old. He's self-employed. He's a handyman. He made last week about $200. But he said his parents are in a financial position to post his monetary bond, and that's why we're asking either an RO or a pretrial release.
Your Honor, he had a carried concealed weapon. Possession or sell heroin, 1992, 91. Another carried concealed weapon, a firearm, 90, and resisting without violence. He has older priors, Your Honor.
Court's gonna order no return to 4,000 Northwest 43rd Street, Coconut Creek. Based on the totality of the circumstances and what's stated in the probable cause affidavit, court is not gonna require a bond on count 1, but the court is gonna do a GPS open schedule on counts 1 and 2. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Ernesto Navarro.
Good day, madam. How are you doing today, Your Honor?
Fine, sir.
Hello, madam. This is the first time I get a chance to be able to speak to any individual. I would like to explain to you what occurred to me. And
Now would
why
not be the
I'm
time to
position
do
right
that,
now. Is
Mr. Navarro.
correct?
All right, so Mr. Navarro, you have, if you could just bear with me for a moment. Battery on an officer, firefighter, EMT, 2 charges. We need to talk about bond. Count 2 is used display, etc., firearm during a felony. We need to talk about bond. And count 4 is resisting an officer, obstructing with violence. We need to talk about bond on that as well.
I've never
Court
committed
does
these
find
acts.
probable cause.
I've never committed these acts, madam. I'm being falsely accused because I was walking around my neighborhood. May I explain what happened?
Now is
Adam?
really not the time to discuss the facts of your case, Mr. Navarro.
I believe it is. I don't know who you are, actually.
I'm
gonna
your
have to
attorney.
leave your name. No, you're
Would you
not
like
my
to
attorney.
represent yourself?
I'm not sure how this works. I don't even know what's going on. I just want to explain what happened to me so you have a better understanding
Sir,
from my
you
position,
have
right?
some serious charges and you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can and will be used against you. You also have the right to a court-appointed attorney. Today, Mr. Reedy is appointed as your public defender, your attorney for today. He's sitting here in the courtroom with me, that's the male voice you hear. So I just informed you of the 4 charges. State, what's his prior history,
Your Honor, there's actually no prior history.
okay?
Your Honor, may I speak to you in just an explanatory manner for 1 second? It will not make a difference to anything, I believe. Just so you are aware. Is that fine?
That's up to you against your attorney's advice, but you can say anything you want, sir.
All right. I would like my attorney to listen, also, because I need them to represent me. Is that correct? My attorney represents.
Yes, I
that-
will represent you, Mr. Navarro. Now is not the time for you to say anything.
All right. Is it correct that if I explain to you something, you represent me in a professional manner that gets me out of this jail the most soon possible time?
Yes, but
Is that
discussing
correct?
the facts of your case is not going to accomplish that.
Sir, all we're here today is for probable cause and to determine bond and any release conditions, if any. Today's not your trial day. That's why I said in the beginning, please do not talk about the facts of your case. So State, let me just ask you this, and then we
Okay.
can go to the defense. Hold on, sir. State, what is it that you're requesting for bond and any special conditions?
Yes, Your Honor. For charge number 1, the state would be requesting a $10,000 bond. For the second charge, a $10,000 bond. For charge number 3, a $5,000 bond. And for charge 4, a $1,000 bond. Special conditions: no firearm, no ammunition, and a level 1 GPS monitor.
Does this mean that I am free to go with a $10,000 bond given?
They're asking for, they're actually asking for, sir, $26,000 total in bond, a GPS, which is an electronic monitoring, no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons.
Well, I don't have that money with me, but what would be? Oh, say okay. So let's say I would make the $10,000. Is there a way to make a partial payment for this? A $10,000 payment, and then I would be let off on bond and make the rest of the payment. Is that correct?
If you go through a bondsman, they generally take 10% plus collateral. Is there someone who can post your bond for you?
I have someone that may be able to come here and they may be able to pay what they need to pay to get me out immediately. Is that what we were trying to do? Is that correct?
That would be good.
Okay, so what I'm trying to do is find out what's the lowest possible number I can pay at first. You said I can pay a 10% of 10,000, you said?
Well, your bond hasn't been set yet. I was going to ask for a lot lower bond than that, considering that you don't have a prior record, and considering he has no prior criminal history, Judge.
Yes,
I'd be
sir.
asking for a substantially less bond than that.
Yes, sir.
I have to
I
tell
actually
you,
am innocent and I have a grandmother and a girlfriend to attend. And I was just having fettuccine Alfredo with my grandmother and I walked outside. I took the nature path behind my house. Some old guy started chasing me and nagging at me. And then I said, I'm just going back home. And then he started like trying to grab me. So then I think he got scared of me. He called the cops. The cops came through. They grabbed me by the neck and assaulted me instantly without letting me know who they were, right? So I need to be set free because I'm not a criminal. I have not committed any criminal act, like you said. So I must pay and then I must leave and finish my payments, correct?
well, here's the thing, it doesn't
Because
even
they
have a
slammed me
place
on
of
the
birth for
ground.
him.
They slammed me on the ground and started beating me up, and I instantly lost all consciousness because I was on the sidewalk, quickly moved to the grass. I couldn't see anything. Everything was covered, my face with grass, and I was passed out, blacked out, right? And then I passed out, and I started waking up a little bit and sleeping a little bit. I didn't even know what was going on because I was being punched all over the ears, all over the jawline, all over the face, all over the neck, all over the back of the head. So
Mr.
many
Navarro,
times.
is there somebody I can call for you to help post your bond?
Yes, may I do the phone call, so that they may come here and pay the money?
Sure.
And then, and I would have to know the minimum amount of money that I would have to pay initially. You said it would be much less than 10%, but
This is the thing, I'd like to know a
you said it
little
would
bit
be
about.
10%?
I'd like to know a little bit about your client, his ties to the community, what he does for a living, how long he's lived in Florida, where he's lived.
Give me a minute then, Judge.
Okay.
All right.
All right, sir, go to your left. Mr. Reedy's gonna call you and talk to you. There's some information I need before I set bond. Go to your
All right,
left
yes,
and
ma'am.
speak to your
So-
attorney.
all
Sir,
right, so just-
Sir, go to
yeah.
your left, speak to your attorney, and then we'll
All
speak
right.
to you, okay?
Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. Norman Gully. Any
Mr.
objection
Gully
or
is here
probable
present,
cause on
Judge,
Gully?
okay.
Mr. Reedy? All right, Mr. Gully, you have a grand theft auto, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is failure to stop or remain in an accident involving non-serious injury. We need to talk about bond, and then we have operating without a valid DL, $25. Count 4 is failure to use due care, not for magistrate. Court does find probable cause. What say you, state, on count 2?
For count 2, Your Honor, the state would be requesting a $100 bond.
Judge, and speaking, Mr. Gully, my understanding is he's 18 years old, and from what he tells me, he's had no prior contact with the criminal justice system. He was born here. He's been here his whole entire life. He goes to school. He goes to Deerfield Beach High School. He is a senior. He currently has a 2.5 GPA. He took the SATs. He scored a 950. And speaking to him, he wants to retake it and get a better score. He wants to attend Broward College and study their zoology program, is what he informed me. He lives with his mother in Deerfield Beach. If the state can verify he has no prior contact with the criminal justice record, I'd ask the court to consider an ROR, or if not, just leave the bond, what the state suggested, Judge.
And Your Honor, the state is not aware of any priors at this time.
Can he afford any bond?
His mom can, Judge.
All right, I'll leave
That's
1,000
why-
on 1. I'll do an ROR on 2 and 3. 4 doesn't require a bond. No victim contact, direct or indirect, sir, with SD. Thank you. Is Dustin Burke still at the main jail? Oh, he was at North Broward.
Dustin Burke is in North Broward.
Yeah. What about, who do you have left there? Anybody?
Yes, Judge, I believe you should be Mr. Boyer? Mr. Boyer, Judge, the last gentleman second to the last gentleman on the docket.
It was reset.
Davidson
Probably
Boyer.
reset.
Okay, Mr. Boyer, you have false ID given to law enforcement, $100 bond. That's count 5, 6, and 7 are violations of probation or community control. Those are out of Broward. Is there any reason this isn't set before Judge McCarthy? Madam Clerk? Is there any reason they didn't set this before Judge McCarthy? This is Davidson Boyer. He's at the end. Court finds probable cause. I'll do a $1 bond. Clerk to set before Judge Barbara McCarthy. Forthwith on 11/8/18. It's supposed to for the probation violations. But anyway, I'd like it set before Judge McCarthy tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you at 1 o'clock, Mr. Romero.
Thank you, Judge.
Did you send it to me?
Gonna call him.
I'm sorry? Okay. Oh,
Yeah, we gotta take that with us. Once we perfect. once we,
You
contact,
could,
You guys do an order for that, maybe?
yeah, we're pulling it up here.
what you need to do when you come back, have them email it to you, and you can always email it to us.
Okay,
That's the best way, I think.
okay, so take this with me,
Yes.
contact the officer.
Tell them what he's arresting him for and how much. Let him email to you.
$1.
the best thing, and then just email to us.
Yes.
And then with this, just bring this.
Or you know
Back,
what?
yeah.
Just do it. What do you have on, hold on one moment. What do you? Mr. Navarro. North Broward.
This number is 18-137-39.
Hello, Madam Judge.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Navarro has been a resident of South Florida for his entire life. He has lived at the same address for the last 18 years. He lives with his father.
At what address?
What's your address, Mr. Navarro?
I live at the address of 4293 Laurel Ridge Circle, Weston, Florida.
And how long have you lived there?
I've lived there for 18 years, since I was 4 years old, and I've always been a good person and never committed a crime or never been mean to anyone in my life. And this is a
Unfortunately, Judge, Mr. Navarro was just laid off from his job, but he's enrolled in a jobs program and expects to be employed again very soon.
What did he do?
He works in convenience stores, Judge. He's given me the name and number of his father to contact. He indicated his father's going through some tough economic times right now. Probably can't come up with too high of a bond. But in light of the fact that Mr. Navarro has very strong ties to the community and no criminal history to speak of, I would ask the court to consider either pretrial release with an ROR, with an understanding that Mr. Navarro will not have any contact with any of these law enforcement officers.
Will not.
And in the alternative, Judge, I'd ask for a very low bond, and hopefully his dad can get him out.
If I may, the state is mostly concerned with the alleged attempt to gain control of the officer's firearms. That's what we find most unsettling about this case. Demonstrates great danger, potentially posed to law enforcement in the community.
Pardon me, this happens to be a misunderstanding. As we explained, what happened was I was having fettuccine alfredo with my grandmother.
Yes, Mr. Navarro, we heard that earlier.
All right, so.
Let the judge the judge is gonna make a decision now, so let's listen to what the judge has to say, okay?
All right, so I'm letting out on bond today, right?
I'm gonna do a GPS open schedule. I'm gonna do no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons.
Absolutely never. I have no interest in that.
If any, he's to surrender them upon his release within 24 hours to his local police department.
Never touched a firearm.
Court
And I have
does
no
have,
interest
Hold
in
on,
doing
Mr. Navarro.
court does have a concern about the conduct that's alleged in the probable cause affidavit. And I know these are only allegations, sir, but stated, "Do not come near me, I have a gun." And I'm just.
Yes, madam, I
And he
will
said,
explain. One
once
second,
the
please.
defendant had a firm grasp on Officer Forte's mouth, he violently pulled his lip down, causing injury, swelling, and bleeding to the inside of the officer's mouth. Used his right hand to scratch the right side of his neck.
The officers.
Don't say anything at this point, Mr. Navarro. The judge is making a ruling.
Defendant was able to firmly grasp
All
the
right.
wrist of the officer's Pacheco's firearm as well as his holster in a clear attempt to disarm him.
Oh,
And then it goes on
I don't
from there.
recall that. What happened was I was.
So-
Mr. Navarro,
Court's gonna set
Mr. Navarro.
Court's gonna set a $10,000 bond on one, 5,000 on two, 1,000 on count three, and 1,000 on count four. So a total of $17,000. GPS open schedule, no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. If any, surrender with 24 hours to your local police department. Good luck to you, sir,
I'll
okay?
call your father for you, Mr. Navarro.
All right, attorney. So, if my father comes to the location, he's gonna make a payment of a certain percentage of the 27,000, correct?
10% of it, yes. He'll have to go through a bondsman. I'll explain it
It's
to him.
actually,
All right, and then can we make a
it's actually 17,000.
Right.
Sir, I'm gonna ask that you speak to your attorney on the phone, okay? Thank you, good luck to you, and you've gotta pay the bond before you get fitted for a GPS. Okay, Dustin Burke,
Medical reset.
all right, we need to, I know he has a lot of counts, but we were supposed to do this from yesterday. Do you have an objection to probable cause?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so the court finds probable cause, PC found in absentia. I'm gonna put that the defendant to be brought to court for bond / release conditions, okay, Mr. Reedy?
That's fine, Judge.
And that's counts 1 through 22.
Does that count 1, 2, 3, and 4? You do that. So everything like the PC, right?
Andra Lovell Rett,
I think he's still a medical. I don't know if he was alone.
this has been going on for a while, it looks like
He's
a
still
loan.
alone.
Okay. Thank you, we'll be back at 1 court. Soon.
Okay.
But I told them to bring them here at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Maybe they misunderstood.
Maybe.
Maybe in all the commotion, and honestly, I said 8:30, I don't think I did. Pardon?